Whiskey 34, I've got a sale and a handoff. They're rolling.
Come back up, I'm in the county.
Hello, Officer Brock Booker with the Del Perro Police Department. Who am I speaking to?
Nice to meet you. You're speaking to Joy Blossom.
Hi, Joy.
Would you like to give me some money?
No, I wouldn't.
Do you like my sign?
I do like your sign. Does it work?
I'm putting on performances for people. Yeah, a couple of people have approached me and given me some money.
Oh, is that what people are doing?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a call down here that somebody was being suspicious on the beach, so I came to check it out.
Whoa, you might want to check that out. I haven't seen anything suspicious though, so maybe
You're saying you're not suspicious?
Maybe further down the right. You know, I've been busy focusing on my performance, singing
you've
a
just
little
been
bit,
performing?
dancing a little bit, you know, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying when I was over there watching you with a camera,
Yeah.
and someone came up to you and handed you something that was just money for your performance?
Yeah, exactly. You got that right.
Oh, I couldn't help but you smell like weed.
What the fuck? I haven't smoked anything, so I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. How's your day been anyway?
I just woke up, came down here, saw,
It's a beautiful
you know,
day,
you
isn't
dancing
it?
on the
Look at
beach,
it's so
and
pretty.
it does look pretty nice.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
I think my hair looks really good in this lighting too. What's your name?
Officer Brock Booker, detective.
Nice to meet you. Ooh, detective. Look at you.
That's right.
Climbing the ranks. Do you
Hey,
enjoy
Bubba.
your job?
Yeah, I like my job. I'm mostly focused on
That's
drug-related crime.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, I learnt my lesson from a couple days ago, so you won't catch me selling any drugs.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. And then I got fucked up. I got hit by a car. Then I got given community service, and I was lifting heavy sandbags after I got fucked up by the car. And then they wouldn't give me a ride from Grapeseed back into the city. So then I was making my way back on foot, which also didn't help
How you
the
doing, Bubs?
situation. And then I ran into a murder kitty, which fucked me up even further. So then I
Oh
was
my
in a
God.
cast and in a wheelchair for a couple of days. But then the next day, an officer drove his bike into me.
Who?
So then, what was his name? Mike Austin?
Did he stop and talk to you about it?
Yeah, he stopped and then he stayed with me until the medics came. And then I kind of rinsed him a little bit because the doctor who treated me, I said to her something about how broke I was. I wasn't actually looking for money from her, but then she was like, "Ooh, how much money do you have?" And I said I had $700. So then she said that she would send me money, and she sent me 2K. So then I messaged. No, he called me and he's like, "Oh, how much do you want?" Because I had posted on Twinstar. And I said, well, the doctor, who wasn't the one who actually caused this, paid me 2K, so I'd expect more than that from you. And he said, how about I give you 2K and $1, you know? And I was like, well, if you want to be stingy, then you can do that, but I'll accept it nonetheless. And then he didn't actually end up sending me 2K and $1. He sent me $2,500.
Oh, so that's nice.
I kind of made $4,500 that day for doing nothing other than getting injured and fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Hey.
Hello.
This is Deputy McTavish.
So that's that. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How's it going?
Pretty good. We were just socializing.
Yeah, she's saying she's dancing on the beach and people are giving her money. But she sells...
Yeah.
I can't just help but notice you smell really strongly of weed.
I don't know what you're talking about. I told you already that I didn't smoke anything today, so I don't know where that's coming from. Maybe it's my perfume. It might have gone a little bit off. It's a bit expired. But because I really liked it, I didn't want to just throw it away, you know, and get another one because, like I said, I'm broke. Hence the sign.
Miss Blossom, look, honesty goes a long way with us. If you just, you know, tell us what's really going on, they'll probably just take whatever is illegal off you, charge you for something, and then just let you be on your way dancing. We don't have to go to the station and process you and book you.
Station for what?
Well, you know, in case we are selling drugs. I have a suspicion you are, but
You can't really arrest me for nothing.
Well, I could, search you and find drugs, and if I see money, I could probably articulate that you were selling drugs here.
Mm, I
But I
already
don't
said
want to
I was
go.
performing and people were giving me money.
I know, but if I find drugs on you, then it's pretty clear that you might be, selling joints for money too.
Might be isn't really like a thing, you know?
I could prove it.
How?
Well, here's the thing, right? I was over there, I was taking
Dispatch
pictures of you,
408,
doing handoffs
76
with
to the
locals. I have a
71
picture of
Hummer,
that.
Taylor Power
With
Station.
this case law State v. Cummins, I can articulate, number one, that we got an alert down here that somebody was being suspicious. Number two, I have somebody out here selling, handing off things to locals. Number three, you have the smell of marijuana, which gives me the ability to do a warrantless search.
Over than the usual mountain lion.
And then when I search you and I find joints and loose cash, I can articulate, hey, you were probably selling drugs down here and charge you with sale of a controlled dangerous substance.
That is true.
But if you comply,
Okay, so
I don't
what
have
do
to
you
go through all
propose?
that. Just tell me the truth. Just give me whatever illegal things you have. I'll probably hit you with sale or maybe possession, and then I'll just cut you loose here. We don't have to take you to the station to go through all that processing, and I don't have to send you to prison.
You wouldn't be lying to me, would you?
No.
No.
I'm actually being pretty fair right now. Usually I would
That
just
happens
get
a
you in
lot.
cuffs and tackle you and take you up and say you're
Oh.
under arrest and all that.
That's a bit aggressive, don't you think?
Yeah, but I don't really feel like doing that because it's pretty early for me. Okay, thank you for being honest.
Well, there we are.
All right, let me
A
think.
long way.
Yep. So I am going to put you in cuffs right now, but I'm not going to take you anywhere. I'm just going to leave you here.
Hmm.
Can you turn around for me? Thank you for complying. It goes a long way. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. You can have 4-1 will be provided to you by the state. You also have the right to a bench trial if a judge available. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, like I said, I'm not going to take you anywhere. I'm just going to figure out what I'm going to do this particular situation.
A black Sultan on scene, a push bike as well. Don't see
Alright,
anybody
let's see.
for now. Code 6.
Hmm.
Hey, did you get my good
Hey.
side?
I did. Let's see.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just going to charge you with sale of a controlled dangerous substance. You're very compliant.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm going to charge you with. Usually it would be a 20-month prison sentence. I'm just going to give you 20 months of parole. Which means I'll just cut you loose here and you can like continue what you're doing. I am taking the drugs. I'm not taking any loose change off you today. It's
thank you
also a
very much.
$750 fine. Payable to
Aw,
the
not
DMV
another
within 21
one.
days. Well, how do you plead?
Guilty, I guess.
See, honesty really does work. See?
Yeah.
Look at this.
I could have charged you with more stuff. I could charge you with possession plus resisting plus probably some other things. But I'm just going to charge you with the sale.
Yeah. Last time, that's what happened as well. The woman was very glad I was very compliant, and she kind of
She
lowered
is.
my charges a little bit. But to be fair, I did fuck myself over because I admitted more than she had before.
Yeah, it was going to be hard for you to kind of get out of this anyway, because I could search you with the state law or the case law, and then I would have found it anyway, and then I would have probably taken your money too.
Yeah, because last time she was like, she only had me for like petty theft or something. And then I was like, oh yeah, growing weed is really difficult, blah, blah, blah. And then she got me for manufacturing as well, so.
All right, Joy. Well, thanks for being compliant. You have
Great
20 months of parole,
80876
and you have been charged.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Enjoy your day.
You too. I'm gonna throw these drugs away.
No.
Thanks, McTavish.
No worries.
Stop doing crime, Joy.
Stop it. You're better than this. No.
If we get there in time and there's a hostage on scene, let's just claim the hostage and not pursue.
Airport 310 76 to the 90.
Whiskey 34, 1037, code 4, 195, sale, process 76, 1090.
Airport 320 feet 1090 North Rockford Drive. They're already getting their car built, never mind, they're not.
Uh, 10-4, we're 4 mics out.
Whiskey 34, 23 as well.
They're already leaving. I'm going to stay back, see if there's anyone else inside the store if you want to start pursuing.
Copy. Hey, stop.
What's the vehicle description?
Whiskey 34, 1080, westbound North Rockford Drive. It's a gray in color Stratum, occupied 4 times. Traffic's light, weather's clear. Suspect's wearing a mask. Continuing southbound North Rockford Drive.
Drift 9276.
Left northbound Richmond Street. We're passing behind the college.
The store's clear and documented. I'm 76 to pursue.
Right southbound, we're going through the college. Right westbound, picture perfect, BCB. Got him left eastbound Americano, BCB. Left northbound West Eclipse. Left westbound Hardy Way, they spun out. Right eastbound Picture Perfect. The car is state owned, last 4 digits TJW. Continuing eastbound Picture Perfect. Left northbound Milton. Right eastbound Didion. Huge 50. Are you okay?
Gravity comes to SA.
Interesting.
Officers, can I interest you in a
Seems
dance
like the
while we wait?
driver is out of the vehicle,
So I
probably
can
hiding
see now-
somewhere.
Disappearing tray.
I think
Oh
our
my
driver
God.
got abducted.
Got abducted.
It's
I'm
okay. You
just gonna
can
stretch
break
my legs
off.
for a second,
It's
hang on.
fine.
Did you know Mom Drive?
Yeah, we're
That
We're
local
currently
was
stopped
talking
at West
crazy shit,
Didion
and I don't know
Drive.
what happened before we got there, so I don't even know why you were there.
driver
you
is
know?
currently MIA, searching the area.
Enjoy the show.
We're to search on Coxway just to your south.
Copy. The passengers are claiming it's an alien abduction, which is absurd.
Can I interest you in a cigar?
I don't want a cigar. I want
Can I
your
interest you in some sugar?
no. I want your cash. from the store you just robbed, so I can
No,
put
we
it
did
in
not
our
rob a
evidence.
store. I don't know what the hell you're on about.
Oh my god, somebody robbed that store?
I know
We
it
were
was
simply
you.
looking to buy sugar and cigars.
Garrison 9-2 breaking up the pursuit. Back towers is taking our place.
Copy.
I'm 20.
Early Bronx Booker.
We've got all 3 units in video as well.
Holy
If you got a
smoke,
channel, dispatch any channels available.
Stealing is very bad.
We didn't
Yeah,
steal
of
anything.
course. We
Just
bought
that
the
local
sugar.
really.
Why are you
offended
running?
us.
Where are you running?
Pursuit.
Because that
preventing
local
channels.
offended us.
Because you showed up with all your lights and sirens and it's
Ready to check.
scary.
True, and I do
No.
have a great.
That's
amount
not
of
an
sugar on
excuse
me.
to
I
run.
do want to share.
What do you...
Well, drive up.
I just
Paul
hate
is
it for
pissed. What do you mean?
I
That's
understand
all
it's
real
not
bad.
an excuse. We're very sorry.
Can I interest you in a hair tie?
The
A-
universe
a-
already
a
punished us by
hentai?
taking our driver.
True. He's getting probed right now as we speak.
What
Just
the?
Brooke, can you check your
violated.
sirens?
Oh my god.
Too
Can
bad
you
it
tell
wasn't
them
this
to
one.
hurry up?
I mean, you know.
The aliens do what the aliens
The
do. You know?
universe.
Tell the
decides
aliens to
how
hurry
these
up.
things happen. Look how he's running.
The driver is back.
He was definitely probed.
Stop!
Getting in the car.
Oh my god, he's not stopping.
Oh my god, taking off San Bandidian. Oh my god, wait, local infantry.
Immediately local block.
I'm 76 now. Locals are fair game.
Going through a gently lane, passing gently lane. Eastbound Didion, coming on to Las Lagunas, crossing over Las Lagunas into the alleyway behind Up and Adam Burger. Now then Alta, crossing over Alta, now the alleyway behind the Fold. Really is southbound Power Street. Left eastbound, Vinewood Boulevard. A almost explosion.
Finish for you.
We're going through westbound, across these alleys in Vinewood. Very annoying. Left, southbound Alta, right, westbound again. In front of Go Postal. Left, southbound Las Lagunas. Right, westbound, another alley. Right, northbound North Archer. Left, westbound, another alley. Ooh, they're flipped, they're flipped, they're flipped. Cars out, cars out, cars out. Alley,
This is my fault.
come here.
Turn the corner.
Ugh. I'm on the driver. He tackled me.
Oh my
Some of them
god.
did
Give me your
not-
hands.
Oh!
You just tripped yourself. Hey, huh.
Driver is running.
Got your legs!
Driver's heading eastbound out of the alley. Right, southbound. Going into the parking garage. You won't get away with this. Still in the parking garage, heading out. Are you giving up? Are you just complying? Are you being very compliant?
Why did I do that?
He says he
Watch
refuses
this.
to comply. Wait.
Ah,
Oh my god, he's sniffing
But he
something.
didn't comply.
Come here.
Someone climbing on a rooftop, just on.
Why are you running like a goofball?
My fifth pursuit is going southbound St. Peter's Boulevard.
I've got your non-lethal.
I got your lead.
You thought you could hide from us?
I thought I could.
You fool.
It's alright. It's alright.
No!
Resisted again, running back to St. Peter's.
No! Ow!
Oh no!
Ow! Owies! Come here!
Southbound on St. Peter's again. Eastbound to the alleyway.
Crash Bandicoot, yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
And jumping over a wall. Heading
Oh!
southbound. Oh, nice timing.
Nice.
Heading westbound back towards St. Peter's.
Come here.
directly down to St. Vitus, Havan. Approaching Hawick.
Oh, no, it's not a serious.
Why do you run like that?
Stop.
Down Hawick. Crossing over Hawick to the Rockford Plaza.
Someone died here.
Stop.
Heading into the Rockford Plaza.
This is the Del Perro Police Department. You are under arrest. Come here.
No, go away.
You run like Crash Bandicoot.
Running.
I've got your lethal. Close. Come here. Don't do it. Oh,
Oh!
it's over for you.
Oh, shit.
195. Wait, are you?
Am I what?
No, I saw you move a little bit. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney if can't form one provided you by the state. You also have the right to bench trial if a judge will. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right. Gasp. Thanks for not shooting me.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely want to shoot you.
Yeah, this is. You can't have this powder baggie.
Why not?
It's bad.
Nuh-uh. Try it. It's pretty good.
No. All right, let me take a pic.
Wait, can I strike a pose?
No. Boom.
Aw.
Takes off mask. Oh my god.
Hello.
Boom.
The night.
Why were you running from us?
Why were you chasing me? This is a better question.
We were responding to a store robbery. You were there. We said stop. You ran out of the store. You got in the car and you drove off.
Nope, lies. I was never in the store.
You were never in the store.
You
Nope.
with a
was
group of
outside.
people.
Let's go. Gonna put you in
Group
this
of
car.
people.
Group of people.
Group of people. Group of people. Group of people. You know, if you spell socks fast, it sounds like you're speaking Spanish.
Oh, what, sorry?
If you spell the word socks fast, it sounds like you're
SUCKS.
speaking. Uh-huh. Now say it a little faster.
SUCKS.
Huh? S-O-C-K-S.
Oh.
See?
Wow.
I forgot what alley we
True.
were in. Here.
Left. No, right.
Oh, on the
That's
Now
over
left.
here.
Okay, next door. Hold on, let me drive around.
Let me open it.
You want out here?
No, no, go back and then the next alleyway.
I'll call in the next.
Should be right in here. There we go.
Boom.
Tight squeeze.
Squeezies.
Am I getting out too?
All right. Follow me.
I'll lock him in the car.
Copy.
Just be careful, some of them were still in the area when I last saw them.
Okay.
We're going in the truck. I'm stuck. My hips is too wide. I can't fit through there.
Yeah. Gonna have to be a little creative.
Here, you just hop over. Oh. Okay, that works.
There we go. You're coming with me.
Okay. Where are we going?
Downtown.
Oh, you gonna take me out to dinner?
No.
What?
We're going downtown. We're gonna have a room without a view.
Oh my God.
I want dinner. For
Oh.
What the fuck? Course straight.
Hmm.
Yep.
to you.
There we go. Did he find anything in the car?
Negative. It's nothing illegal in here.
Do you get to
Copy.
pick your license plates?
No.
Oh.
It is a rental though.
Yeah, we'll be charging with theft for that.
Theft. I just do
Yeah.
nothing.
So the law says if you use a rental vehicle in the commission of a crime, you get charged with theft of a motor vehicle.
I'm calling for
Oh, I was gonna take
Copy.
it back.
Brock's gonna break off and start heading to MRPD.
Oh, Tanner, I was gonna take it back.
So how's your day?
Oh no, I didn't really like getting abducted mid-chase. That kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Definitely disrupted the flow.
Who are your friends?
Ooh, good question. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know them. I was just hanging out outside the store and then they ran out. And they're like, drive. And I was like, okay.
Hmm.
Yep.
So you were never in the store yourself? You just drove?
Nope. Never in the store. Just outside. Taxi. I'm in a fancy taxi.
Taxis are cool.
No. This taxi takes me to my second home, and then I go eat for free, and then I get out and I repeat the process.
Prison's your second home?
Yep.
All right. Follow me. Guy is the baby driver. Gonna let you walk.
Right, right.
All right,
I
let's
like
go.
your sunglasses.
Thanks. So let's see. I'm trying to think of your charges right now. Reckless
Ooh,
evading.
Stealing. Was it really reckless? I
Yeah, I mean, you did go through some alleys and you crashed in the middle of like a stairway.
True. True.
They just searched you one last time. Where'd you get this MDW?
I bought it.
You bought it.
Yeah.
I just need a report for the tow.
Okay, let me get your fingerprints real quick.
Right, right.
All right, follow me. Oh, you want that cell?
Yep, in my cell.
All right. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Were any of you on scene for the initial store robbery, or did you guys just attach the pursuit?
I was on the scene when they were leaving the store.
Did you see them actually do anything, or were they just running out of the store?
So a couple of them had guns in hand. There was no hostage in the store either. They just
Mm.
ran out the store and got in their car and fled.
I'm probably gonna charge this guy with accomplice to store robbery since he drove them. He didn't have any money or a device on him, so I'm not gonna charge him with just like straight store robbery, but probably just like accomplice or accessory, since he did drive them and they probably got away with the cash.
Copy that.
All right, just figuring out what's going on here. So you're saying you had nothing to do with whatever your friends were doing. Who were your friends?
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I was just standing outside the store, and then people ran out and they're like, "Drive," and I was like, "Okay." That's what happened.
And you're telling the truth? I'm surprised you don't have any warrants. You changed the color of your hair too. Are you trying to turn a new leaf?
Yeah, I was. Yep. Well, no, but it's just to try and outrun the warrants. But I got caught by Captain America.
Who's Captain America?
I have no idea. He called for a taxi ride for the prison, and then he got on his radio and he's like, "Get him!" And then cops just came out of the
You got a
bushes.
report up yet, or you want us to make one?
Yeah, the report's going to be Bruno Diaz store robbery.
Copy.
Yep.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Found cocaine on you, going to charge you with possession and controlled dangerous substance.
Yep. It's a good stuff too. You should try it. I won't tell anyone.
Reckless evading. You did go through a bunch of alleyways and then you crashed at the stairwell.
Okay.
I'd be fine. You know, I'd be fine. This is one of the charges I'd be fine, discussing a little bit with you.
Okay.
You don't want a lawyer, right? Like, I'm fine just like talking. Okay. So what do you think? Do you think that was pretty reckless? Because I think that's pretty reckless.
I mean, if somebody was in the alleyway and I would have flipped the car on them, yeah, I guess I kind of agree that was reckless, but there wasn't.
We'll come back to it. Theft of a motor vehicle, use a rental car, commission of a crime.
Yeah, but who doesn't use a rental car, you know?
Yeah, well, that's why we charge it.
No.
And then here's the one that you'll probably find controversial.
Okay.
Accomplice to robbery.
But I didn't rob anything.
Well, we
I don't know
arrived
if
on
they robbed
scene.
anything, but I didn't rob anything.
Yeah, that's why you're an accomplice and not the person, Because as an accomplice, you were there on scene for them doing that shit, and then you gave them aid by driving them away from the police. So that's why that's an accomplice and not like the actual store robbery. It's not
But
that
what if
big
I
of a
was the
charge.
hostage? Like you don't know if they like were holding a gun to the back of my head or anything. What if they're like, if you say anything to them, we'll shoot you? I mean,
I find that really hard to believe.
But you can't like not believe it, right? You never know. And since they got away, like, what if I'm telling the truth and you're just
They got away with all the cash, Bruno. So like whatever your friends did, they have the cash. Like we didn't get anything.
Assuming they're my friends, I don't know them. They were holding me hostage.
I don't believe you.
I am but a mere driver. Ask Kara.
Okay, so Car was one of them.
Oh, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I just said ask Kara. I tell everybody I'm just a driver, and she gets really mad. She's like, "You're not just a driver. You're Bruno fucking Diaz." That's what she says.
All right, here's what I'll do, Bruno.
Yep.
I'm charging you with possession of a controlled dangerous substance in second degree, reckless evading robbery as an accomplice, and theft of a motor vehicle. I'll drop reckless evading to just evading if you plead guilty.
Okay.
And that'll probably like lessen a lot of the time and fine.
Yeah. One day I'm gonna get my license back. It may not be today or tomorrow or even next week, but one day.
Oh, fuck. I forgot to charge you with something. Stay right here. You already pled guilty, so I'm not going to add it on, but
Oh,
I
it's
need
not
to.
hot. I found
Okay.
it earlier.
You found it earlier.
Yep.
All right. Well, as you know, I'm confiscating it, but I'm going to run it real quick.
Okay.
Don't let them tow drivers tow my shit out there, please.
Tony. Oh, no.
This is your fault, Booker. I swear somehow this ties back to you, buddy.
All right. It's clean. Anyway,
Yep.
let's see. You don't have any warrants.
Oh, I guess I got caught.
Yeah. It's going to be 50 months, $1,800 fine payable to you within 21 days after it's overdue. 2 points for your license. I'll do 50-50, so I'll give you 25 months prison, 25 parole.
Okay.
For for being pleasant. You're not yelling at me. You're not being difficult. Ready to go up?
Yep.
All right, reform, Bruno. You can. It's not too late.
Maybe tomorrow. Who knows?
All right. All right, he's been sent up and pled guilty.
Nice.
Go back, channel 1. Good job.
Sure.
Got to work on my reports.
Radio check.
Enter.
243, channel 1, 195, and 7.
They got booked. Hey, XCam. Sorry, I've been distracted. All right, let's put on some report writing music. Ah, who is this? I can't see. Hey. Is that iridescent? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Rockhead. a nice long chat with her and convince her to tell the truth.
Hey Booker, how's it going, man?
Hey, Jason.
Ooh. You wanna do a warrant apprehension with me real quick?
Let me finish some of these reports. I'm
Yeah,
behind.
Radio check.
10-2. 10-2.
295, 41, 10-8.
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, does anyone want to help with a warrant apprehension?
Bet where?
MRPD.
In your round.
We got like 5-10 minutes.
Highway 6107 Penton.
Yeah, they got booked.
Hello?
Hello.
For anybody that's not on a priority call, we are doing a sit-down meeting in VR. Work your way to a station and enter VR. If you're on a priority, then do your priority. If you feel you don't need to be here, you probably need to be here. So go to VR anyways. Take a little bit of time off of patrol. Get your booties in here.
I mean, roleplay is just about having fun. At the end of the day, we're all just fucking around. That's how I see it. Rock arrived on scene of a store robbery call and saw suspects. 1 in a driver's seat and 3 entering the store. After a quick pursuit through the city, the car flipped over and all 4 ran out on foot. Rock focused on the driver and eventually apprehended him. It was Bruno Diaz, who had cocaine, but no, he is from the...
Is this who I think it is?
Hey.
Stop.
Read his rights, the chart. rental.
Dispatch on motor 210-7 VR.
Thanks, Floof. That's really nice. Hope you're having a good Sunday. All right. Think I'm done with report.
You're up
I
early.
should do these alerts. I just did a power hour. I got somebody for sale of a controlled dangerous substance, then immediately went to a store robbery and caught Bruno Diaz.
Nice. I mean, no shade. That's not really hard.
With Bruno.
Yeah. You know, not saying I like him, but you know, as someone who he was one of the least, like, you know, hard to deal with criminals, you know. And he's not really an asshole, other than he shoots us sometimes. They're trying to get Lauren Woods right now. She's advertising.
Oh, yeah, Jason wanted to do a... Did you dye your hair?
No, I just moved it.
Oh,
You know.
looks darker.
I mean, it's a little darker. You know.
Hell yeah. Best part is there's no work
I
tomorrow.
guess the sun bleached.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
All right, Park, I'm ready.
Going to Academy for Bunny.
Oh, you're going to Academy?
Yeah, we're in the Q&A. So few people are in patrol right now.
All right, I'll ask a quick question.
No, we're just gonna listen.
Upstairs. This computer right here.
That. Oh my god. Hey, just to be clear, can we stream this or not? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Just want to make sure.
The hair is darker.
Yeah, it
in
is.
the absence
But
of
in
the absence
the
of
other
like
style, you have to go really
patrol
light
or
Yeah.
the
to get
patrol
red
boot
hair.
camp, which we will get the like day 2 of traffic stops and pursuits and whatnot. We'll get that set for another weekend. I think we're targeting next weekend to do that.
Maybe. We might if
We'll
there is
see.
a
What's
happening next
possibility
weekend,
we'll do
man,
it
says?
there is a possibility that we might try to squeeze it in during the week. Just because I might we might be squeezing in during the week.
We're gonna
This is
squeeze it in
OOC,
during
by
the
the
week,
way.
guys.
Possibly.
So
But we'll
possibly
play it by
maybe
ear.
about like
You'll
75%.
know. We'll know. You know. We'll all know.
We will know.
Yeah.
We will know. So in the absence of that, we still wanted to pull everybody in to have a discussion on a couple of things from Mantis's perspective, but also give you all the chance in a format that you don't get too frequently, that we still wanted to have this weekend, to just discuss what goes out on patrol, what makes your jobs confusing as role-playing cops, etc. So open forum at the back half, but I know Mantis has some things he wants to talk about before. So with
Well,
that,
the good thing is
So.
I don't have to. We need more. We need more seats.
I mean,
Are we
half
doing
the
another
couch space,
restructure?
they're not sitting on the couches. Why are you all not sitting on the couches?
We need more couches.
It's just so.
I can't do that. You're on your own.
Don't worry, I'll
It's
put
out
more
of character,
couches
we don't
down,
need to sit at all.
guys.
I don't want to sit by the criminals.
Is there any people who are on the decorating team?
I'm somewhat of a decorator myself.
All right,
Oh,
we
he's
need
an
some more-
admin.
We need
That's
some
a good
more.
reference.
We need some
Get a
more
double
couches.
decker couch.
Okay.
You know, I want maybe a fire pit in the middle.
You want a
That-
variety?
never mind.
I'll
That's
be
too
back.
dangerous.
Do you even have a wand?
Yeah, I put it
Definitely
in my
need some
fucking
fire
walk
that is
closet.
I'll just
That
get
was
you
the
a new
wrong
one.
fucking answer.
Don't run.
Oh.
Okay. I
He's
would
gonna
just
die.
Smoke.
idiot.
Wait,
Okay.
there's
Mi-
someone
Miles is
jailed
taking
under the
care of it.
stage.
No, we could just give him a new one, so we don't have to have him run. Okay.
Oh yeah, I just realized Brock's under the stage. He's like, he's,
I'm sorry, you guys.
Hey
have
guys,
to
I'm
bear
here.
Wow.
Um.
Looked like he was in jail.
Sorry guys, I'm here.
Okay. So most of you guys, I gave the speech to on your first day, so I don't need to go over that stuff like I did last night. But what I will say is that I want to make sure one of the most important things about these boot camps right now is following through on that OOC meeting that we had, and some of the meanings behind the philosophies and attitudes.
Oh my crotch.
A miracle.
So, in regards to that, there's going to be, which we got some notes about some things that we probably need to announce on a larger scale. So we will do that in some type of announcement. And we'll probably just do one big one where it's like everything that from Academy that people were not sure about, or policies, or how we're going to go about things. We'll put it all in one thing, so you'll have it there written, and it'll be nice and easy. But otherwise, from this point on, obviously, you know, we want to give you the chance to adjust, get used to it, figure out what it means, and how to just, you know, be RP a cop like we were talking about in the OOC meeting. But you know, there's not going to be another time like this for you guys. So, you know, if you don't kind of want to, you don't really, I guess, shape up. Not saying that any of you have to, specifically, then, you know, you're probably going to be let go. This is probably the only time we can do this. You know, so we want to get this done now, because we're running out of time. So, today.
how much time?
Yeah.
Shoot.
Was it?
That's a
To what?
Two what?
Two.
No,
Two
I said
time?
shoot. I said shoot. Anytime
What
Ayub says
what happens when time runs out?
Yeah.
What happens when time runs out?
You guys.
Is there a countdown timer somewhere that we need to
What
find?
happens when time runs out is we're all gonna be very, very busy all the time.
Oh yeah.
So,
How busy?
Yeah. Doing
Onyx
well.
Arena server.
Hell yeah.
Well, I can't
Don't
believe
shoot
you just
him.
Are
did
we
that.
opening to public? Yeah, I was gonna say.
God damn
Put
it.
on the blue latex gloves,
This
y'all.
is actually a beta test.
Okay. So today I want to make sure that you guys had a chance to talk directly to me, ask me questions about anything you're concerned about, anything that you want to get clarified, any situations you've had in the past that you struggled with that you want advice on, or how you should handle it, or if you handled it well. Anything at all. Like I told people last night, the worst thing that I dealt with for 4 years as a cop, and everybody did, was always feeling like there was somebody watching over our shoulders, and any fucking mistake you made is the end. You would either get blacklisted, you get removed, you'd never get promotion, stuff like that. That is literally why Onyx exists, is to not have those types of feelings. So I want us to succeed. This is something I put
John's
my heart and
Lisa?
soul into. Well, I'm just here to help.
Maybe.
So anything you have to ask, I will answer as much as I can, as best as I can. And
Wait, you have the
I guess
OSC phone?
there's no better person to answer it besides, me. There's just wise guy. There's me, and then there's obviously there's the admins, but yeah. So ask away, guys. We'll do that for now. Does anybody have any questions that they want to get clarified? I have a few things that came up last night that I'll probably cover, but for now, please don't be afraid. Ask any questions that you want, or concerns, or fears.
I've got hands up on the right side. I've got a hand up.
Yes.
Like, obviously, main thing is server health, and obviously, like, making sure police are good and are run well. But in all honesty, let's say when the clock runs out, whatever, things start pumping up, and there are going to be cops coming back.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, as part of story and development, I still want to grow, but I find there may be concerns of being overlooked by people coming back and then just stealing the shine of all the hard work that has been put in for the last few months of people working up to that point. You know what I'm saying? That's a slight concern to me.
No, I get it. That Jesus Christ! I just realized what was on the thing behind me. I don't think you'll have to worry about that too much. We've kind of structured things so the progression, or like the vertical progression, is slow and deliberate. So that's probably not going to happen. Depending on who it is, depending on the type of person it is, maybe we just make room for them, something like that. But other than that, of course, people who are here, their roleplay will just continue the way it is, and they'll be rewarded the way they deserve to be. I know there's a lot of stuff we've been working on within the PD. I know Tori has been working on this for a long time, regarding expanding some of our units to have more progression and more fun in them. And obviously the people who are here day in and day out are gonna fill up those slots and enjoy those role play I guess features. So things like SWAT, things like Heat, right? That's the name, Heat, right?
I think you just leaked it.
Oh no.
Mantis leak huge.
No, it's not, because it's
It's been talked about in character.
Yeah, it was in
That's
character.
not, well, you leaked it here to the cops. It's not that's not a dev leak, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. So
it's a command
I just don't want I don't want people using the word speed anymore. So Heat, and then and a bunch of other K9, motor, CID, everything across the board. So those types of things, obviously the people who are here all the time, who have been here, will be the ones filling that out. If people are coming back, they still have to show that they're actually going to put in effort, right? and they're interested, besides just being lazy. So that won't really affect it. So I think of it that way. However, it would be nice to have a few more of my my old pals. Sorry for my voice. I don't know what's going on. Weather. Of my old pals who know how I operate, know what I want, and that can help with FTOing specifically and stuff. So, you know, more people like Cascadian back there. So, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
You should be. You shouldn't have to worry about that. People have to. One big thing about me is, and this is across the whole server, usually is, you know, as long as you're putting in the effort, you show that you're passionate about something, then we want to, or we want to reward you as much as we possibly can. So that's a big goal.
Hey, if we're talking timelines real quick, I know you're not going to give away anything, but I'm in the midst of a planet move. So I'm moved Japan, halfway across our planet. Anyways,
Wow.
Our planet.
Huge.
our planet. Yes. Anyways, my question was going to be within the next 3
We
to
need good
4
FTOs.
weeks, is that
We
clock
definitely
going to
need
run
good
out?
FTOs.
Because I'm going to be kind of in and out, and I want to help as much as possible. The reason, okay, good, because I want to help out and contribute as much as I can, and I don't want to, miss out if, that's all.
Okay, let me say this. All right, I'm just gonna say this specifically to you, Cascadian. You will always have a spot, no matter what, in our police department, as long as you don't have a crazy crash
Be able
out.
to help around the update time.
Okay, so don't worry about it.
Unhinged
Don't stress.
rant.
You will be here, and you're one of the people that I've always trusted the most, and you're someone that most of the cops here should go to or talk to if they're having any issues related to being a cop. So I wouldn't worry about it, and that's all you're gonna know.
All right, I appreciate you. No, it's a good enough answer for me, and I appreciate you saying all that. I just wanted to make sure that I can contribute as much as I can. I didn't want to miss out on the big event. So,
Jet
thank you.
Gaming, on the other hand.
Ooh, yeah, yikes. Oof.
We gotta get Daisy high.
Not happy. But anyway.
I stand with Jet Gaming.
Yeah, me too. I also stand with Jet Gaming.
If you really
still
stand with her, you'll be in a
role-playing out
Fortnite lobby
sleep.
with her right now.
I'm still role playing out sleeping at the station because you burned down my house. Okay.
Okay.
I did.
all right.
Didn't do that. Didn't find out in character.
We look, I kind of want to bring this up because just some of this stuff becomes kind of a pain in the butt. Now, when it comes to doing stuff like that, we want to, like I said in the OC meeting, if stuff is kind of contained and it's not as violent, I guess, or whatever, we don't want to kind of screw people over or make it a big deal besides some like little bits, right? Now, just know, in general, for everybody, okay, that if you're gonna make a decision or you're gonna do something like that, you may have consequences, right? You probably will. Now, there was something that came up last night regarding this stuff that I wanted to cover, and that is if you make a mistake regarding a fat finger or something like that, like the example
Have you
that
ever
was
done that before, Mantis?
so one of the best examples, I guess, and there's
Are they?
a very popular clip of me trying to tase someone out of a car during a street race, I think it was, and I shot them in the face.
Nice.
I haven't seen anything in the group chats. Maybe it's some twin stuff.
I've done that I've done that. It's been a mistake. Now, way to handle that type of thing, there's a few ways. One, you might get fucked if they're not going to be receptive. A lot of the times they'll understand that you kind of fucked up and it wasn't meant to be that. So in that case, what I did was I just RP'd, like I made a huge mistake. I didn't want to get sued, and I let him go. Said, okay, I can't arrest you now.
Classic Diashi.
Don't commit more crime, please. And then I called an ambulance for him, right? But you know, things like that are going to happen.
Literally in the Gracie Police
Actually me
Department.
again, when
Might
I
have been a
shot,
reply on Twin
Vondel in
stuff.
the head during the hostage negotiation.
I think it's this one.
Um,
Oh, maybe not.
we can, when stuff like that happens, first of all, Alex said he would not he would not protect me, and if I got fired, I just had to make a new character. So anyway, in general, when something like that happens, the people around it, or the higher ups, kind of understand what the situation is. Now the RP might unfold, but the consequence at the end may not be as harsh as if it was done on purpose, right? So that's another thing I want to cover. Yeah, just know that. I do want to kind of relax a little bit with going after each other. I know I said that, and I think that's kind of top, but not worrying about people doing things. Officer discretion is not corruption. So yeah.
Yeah.
Because the first time I went on the patrol in a long time, I pulled someone over for a stolen car, and there was another cop
Yeah,
there.
where's the
I don't remember who it
automatic
was,
weapons?
but when I pulled them over, I told the person, we had a conversation. They were cordial. They weren't being an asshole. So I said, look, dude, I know you stole this car. So get out and walk away, and I'll just impound the car. And he did, and he didn't get arrested. And the cop accused me of corruption for not arresting him. That's not.
I'm shocked.
That's not corruption. That's just police discretion, and also, I hate doing paperwork.
Amen.
Yeah, we know.
What
We
the
know you
hell?
hate doing paperwork.
Which is wild because you guys love it. It blows my mind how much you guys do paperwork.
Wait, are you telling me that hasn't been RP all this time?
What?
You hating paperwork? I thought it was just a trendy thing.
No, it is.
No, he hates paperwork and a lot
Well,
of stuff.
when I'm playing Judge 2, I also hate when people write novels. I want concise. And when we did processing at the academy, I went over this. When we do processing again during the boot camps and stuff, I'll probably go over this again. I'm not going to do it now. But
Stop making us read too much.
Okay, so just bullet points in? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, what I've always said is
OOC police meeting
my
that we're allowed to
advice is always
stream.
you go chronologically through
Just
all the
talking
crimes
about
that were
server
committed,
stuff
and if to make it easier on you to start,
and like just
I say
role
yeah,
play
do
in
bullet
general.
points. And then as you
Because it's
get
nice to have
more used to
OOC
it,
meetings
it's
sometimes just
easier
to
and
get on the same
quicker at
page.
being concise, especially in guilty pleas. You can write it in paragraph form, but if it helps, write bullet points. It'll speed up processing. It'll speed up everything. I'm actually really surprised how much you guys actually don't mind doing.
No,
as much
this is just
paperwork
like,
as you do. So writing.
hey, this is how you
I-
should role play these
I like
scenarios
writing.
out
I
as a
just-
cop
I don't
or
go
mini
hard unless it's going to
admins.
court.
You don't have to like go
That's
hard
when-
all the time.
That's when I write a lot. Otherwise, it's bullet points.
I'm not gonna lie, the amount of writing that we have to do here is kind of what I'm used to from other servers.
Right now we're just talking about reports and writing stuff.
You shouldn't.
You don't have to do a lot.
Look,
yeah.
because
Trust me.
if you
Yeah, it's good to talk
I
freely.
play a judge, obviously, and Occam's and I kind of.
Check down.
Wow.
Well, we kind of wrote the penal code and how the DOJ would work. I'll tell you right now that I always would rather have something concise, to the point, and stuff, and leave as much fluff as you possibly want out of it. The fluff stuff that may come up would probably be something that would be come out in court, right? But in the report, you really just want to put why they were arrested, the reasoning for it, and that's it. You don't have to tell me it was a rainy day or something. That could come out in civil court if they're suing you or something.
Take a seat on one of the
yeah.
couches.
I highly
one? There's
suggest
so
that
many.
it'll speed everything up,
Just take a seat.
especially when things
I don't
start to
think
get
the top
busier.
one, so I feel like I'm higher than
I've
everyone
seen
else.
this. I believe it or not, I am watching. Okay, I'm usually either flying around watching or observing, or I'm being sent tons of clips, so I get to watch things and I get to see what's going on, and I worry for a lot of you guys that when things start to get busier, you guys are going to get overwhelmed pretty fast if you don't work on your efficiency with things, right? Because don't forget, it is a game and not a real job.
What?
Don't ever. I hate quoting.
Not a real job.
Don't do it. No, it's not a, no. Don't.
That's the
He's a
only
piece
time
of
to
shit.
Don't say
and
it. Don't say it.
He
I'm gonna say
abandoned
it.
me, and I don't mind saying that on a stream.
He abandoned all of us.
He's a liar. So
Oh my god. Drama.
I hate the Chief 1114.
hey, here's the worst
He's
part.
far
okay?
removed.
God! Real quick.
It's not a real job, Claire.
Look, here's the thing.
said it.
We have a law. We have a fine in the penal code that I specifically put in for him. The fine is 1114, and it's for the shotgun. It's for the sniper or the sniper rifle. The hunting thing. That I put that.
We
in for
deleted
him.
that.
So
Classic you
Yeah.
ruining stuff.
wait.
Oh,
You deleted
mine's always my fault, huh?
You speak up about it, that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Okay.
What the fuck, man?
Huh. Interesting that you just.
Couldn't let him have that one thing, huh?
I'm seeing a trend that Ayoub's tied to all of the bad things that Mantis hates. I'm seeing a trend.
You want me to fix that problem right now?
Seeing
Mantis?
a
I
trend
can do it.
here.
I can help fix that problem.
I can fix that problem right now.
I don't know if you
Say the
can.
word, OG.
No, I think she has to pee on you tomorrow.
been nice knowing you.
What?
So-
Sorry.
What?
What?
Okay, that I didn't sign up for this kind of meeting.
What the hell?
Is that court case tomorrow?
Oh yeah, that is.
What? That's what Hannah Mahmood said she's gonna do after she wins the court case.
Don't spoil it.
What the hell? Mantis, what?
Just
I can't
said it
believe
to
Joe's
everybody
gonna
here.
do
We just had an announcement about this.
You just announced that to everybody here.
I don't know what
Just
you're
needs a
talking
state
about.
announcement.
Oh my god, now you're a coward. Okay.
What
Anyway,
the hell? What the hell?
Okay, so yeah.
Wait, that's tomorrow?
Yeah.
So we're going to court.
Good day to pick that at 7 p.m.
Okay.
Un-American.
So on the topic again of processing and stuff, I do want to cover something that I think I covered in the meeting, but I want to cover it to you guys again, and I'm gonna probably put it as part of the little overall announcement that we put out after this weekend. But I want to make sure you guys understand that we currently do not have. God damn it.
That's a lot of beeps.
We currently do not have any strict standards on.
I see Miles there tomorrow.
What is it? Time served, or reducing time on people's charges. Now, specifically regarding this, we also, which I have seen said a few times, I don't know where it came from, but there is no rule that currently, I mean, this obviously will change depending on the role play, but there is no rule that if they commit a violent felony or they shoot a cop, they can't get any time served. That is not true. Okay. So, in regards to time served and people going to jail, obviously we'd want to speed up processing. You write the report after you put the basics in, send them off, and then you write the report afterwards. Because you can always. I always wrote the report the next day after I wrote like one sentence in there to remind me what the thing was, and then the next day I'd do it. I'd be too busy. But when you're arresting people, keep in mind a bunch of things. One, look, prison will obviously be getting some changes. But until then, if there are no DOC around and you're sending somebody up by themselves and there's nobody else in there for
Yeah, fines don't get
300 months,
reduced. You can do whatever for time.
that sucks. Okay, right now that is not great. Okay, especially if there's no DOC. We kind of have to work within what we have right now, and in regards to that, I highly suggest that you're very lenient on time off. Guilty pleas, you could take off, you could take off 50-60%, whatever. When I charge people, I usually don't give more than the longest I've sent somebody in for was, I think, 70 months because they had like a 270-month charge. I don't remember. But usually between 30 and 60 months is the most I will give people, unless there's DOC around. If there's DOC around, be a little less. But otherwise, I would definitely be very lenient on this stuff because it sucks right now. It will get better, but you're basically putting somebody in there to basically go change characters at that point. So you can be lenient on time served. You can be lenient if they guilty plea. If you're having a good interaction with them, you can keep them down there for a while and just take that into consideration. Even if it's a good bad interaction, like Jerry versus Golf Gang, they hate each other, but it's always a fun interaction. You take time off for that, stuff like that. Things will change as the RP goes. You might make certain like announcements about certain crimes being can't take time off. For instance, we talked about
that
taking
is true.
Hostages or doing a blockchain.
Hey, this is a
That
criminal.
might be something that we don't give too much time off for, to discourage it a little bit or make the stakes higher, stuff like that. On the DOJ side, we are working on some things, especially because it's not just PD that needs to be ready. Everything needs to be ready. So we will be adjusting sometimes a little bit to make it just better overall for right now. And as things build up, they will change. But I implore you guys to just not be pieces of shit to people in the cells or sending them away for too long, because it does suck. If they're with a group or there's two groups going up, you don't have to give them 10 or 15 months if they're looking for 40 or for 60. You could put them in there for 40 months or whatever, because there's going to be stuff to do. They're either going to fight with the other guys or they're going to talk about stuff or whatever. So obviously it's different when it's like that, but keep all that stuff in consideration when you're doing it in your head. And just you know, remember, it's a give and take thing, right? We're all doing this together. You're not here to make them miserable, and they're not here to make you miserable with court cases. So, and that's how they get you back. So, and I know how much you guys love that. So, but yeah, just we'll put this in the main announcement about it though, so you guys can see it. But yeah, that's something I highly advise you guys to do. Don't be a complete douchebag with time. I don't know if any criminals here would like to pop up about it, who have experienced it. But yeah, other caveats. All right, now I'm not a math formula type of guy. I never want the police or the RP to ever be a math formula, because that becomes gamified, and I hate that. I want everything to be able to be reactive or be adjusted, or not just be, you know, a strict if this then that all the time. So let's say, I think a good example was when Eugene had like 7 warrants, right? And he was able to rack up 7 warrants or something without getting caught. Impressive, by the way. But when you catch somebody with something like that, they're going to get a little more time at that point, right? You don't have to cut it down that much. I mean, they're going to, at that point, they're going to get kind of effed. But that's kind of the consequences of getting 7 warrants in a row without getting caught. So, yeah. Any questions regarding that stuff? Or is it pretty self-explanatory?
Pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. I guess you know, if there's the other saying is do to others what you would do to yourself, or whatever the thing is that they say, and you know, Jesus says or whatever. You know, just treat people like
How you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Really
Mantis.
I can feel the
I'm gonna
motivation.
say it like that every time now.
This is embarrassing because I went to Catholic school, and
it shows.
and I'm confirmed. So,
what's your confirmation name?
I don't remember.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
It was a long time ago, man.
Yes, that's the thing.
I didn't have
confirmation name.
Yeah, you had to come up with
You pick a saint from a deck of cards.
Pick a saint.
Is that like getting verified on
Yeah.
I'm just listening and nodding, smiling.
But yeah. So, is there any questions about that stuff? Does anybody have any other questions? Anything? Please don't be afraid to ask. You're not gonna get punished.
Parole's good.
I don't really have too many questions. I know I generally, when I'm charging people, if it's, you know, if they have like 50 or 60 months, I tend to kind of half. But whenever I'm on my crim, I seem to get full time. So I was wondering if I was doing the right thing or not.
You are.
They just hate you.
That's
I just.
Okay.
Nobody should be getting full time at all. Time
Yeah.
in custody is a thing. So
Yeah, I tend to almost
Especially
like I
right
got
now. We
my
just
crim
gotta
got
be
caught.
considerate.
My crim got caught street racing the other night, and they just full on, just full time, and I was like, oh, okay.
This is something I will also touch on. So, obviously, we're going through a bit of a restructure, and one of the things that's really important. One of the things that's really important about this is encouraging and uplifting supervisors who are going to make sure they keep an eye on stuff like this. Like, if you're going to be a supervisor here now, you're going to have to do that stuff, and not everybody's going to want to do that stuff, so I wouldn't try to be a supervisor. It's no big deal. Plenty of other opportunities to do other stuff. Trust me, there will be plenty of fun things to progress with and stuff that you don't have to babysit people. But if that's something you like to do, then absolutely go
supervisors
for
shouldn't. You're supposed to supervise things. Okay.
it. Don't be a weasel.
Wow.
Aren't you a self-proclaimed weasel?
Yes, I am. So
Oh,
I know
you
when
cannot
someone's being a weasel.
weaseler.
Yeah,
You just, do as I say, not as I do.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay,
Huge.
The Whistler.
So it is very important, and we're gonna do like. Sorry, my voice is killing me. We're gonna do orientations for all supervisor plus roles, where we have kind of a sit down and talk, kind of like this, and we explain what we're looking for, we explain what we want, explain what you have to do, and we want to. It's really important that we have that right now, because I think a lot of the newer cops, if you're newer, or you're not familiar with this style of policing or anything, it can be a struggle, and you need people to look towards that can help you. And so it's important we have those people to help you guys get used to it and work through it. It's not something that comes overnight. I was a cadet
Can we
for
get
a year
a
and a half.
pay increase,
I was a
please?
cadet so long they forgot I
Not
was a
long
cadet.
enough.
Good one, Miles.
Damn! I was a cadet for 10 days.
Yeah.
He was the first FTO.
Like ever in history.
In Onyx, I was.
Ever.
Let me be a cadet on the server.
Wow.
You're
I was the
welcome.
first cadet to make it through the academy.
I was a sergeant before I was a cadet.
That's right. XCOM was number 1.
Frank Roulette went hard.
Okay.
God bless.
Okay. So does anybody want anything they want to talk about? Anybody have anything they want to
We
ask?
talked last night about some scenarios that were difficult for the people that attended to work through, and just like wanted some advice on how to handle those differently. Mantis had some very pointed opinions on them. So is there anything that you guys have been experiencing recently out on patrol that you're like, I don't know about this?
Guys, this is the opportunity to like speak up if you have any questions.
That's me.
Ooh,
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Today we had a gang-related shooting like 15 minutes before storm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's very nice, right? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of like limited in terms of like what we can do there, because those issues take a long time, don't they?
Not really a PD thing.
Yeah.
So usually that'll be something that like is decided or worked on through like your lieutenants and captains, where but depending on what's going on in the gang war will depend on how hard you go on them, right? The idea is that the longer a gang war goes on, the more heat you put on them, right? Just try to squeeze them into stop.
When new car, dude?
You know, whether
Hey, one
that's,
new
a
car.
concerted effort between patrol, FIST, and CID to kind of get them to stop, or you go a little harder when they're starting to shoot down there. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna depend on how long and if it's the first time they're shooting, obviously, you know, gonna stop the shooting as much as possible.
I got a
obviously,
photo
if
I
you're
can
shooting
put
on
up.
the south side. It's
We talked about it.
You have to
and there's a
introduce
lot of
me.
other
I'm
stuff
not
going on.
popular here.
You know,
You have to introduce me, man.
Okay.
probably say, no.
It was more like it was just so little time to properly, do it. In terms of you had a few units on scene as well, and it's just I don't know. You kind of just feel like a little bit shit on, especially my behalf, to like to do things properly, right? And then you
Because
kind
of
of just
units,
feel
or-
that time
Because
breathing
it's
in your
close
neck
to
a
the
little bit.
server reset.
Yeah,
and
very
they
close
can't
to
get
server
evidence.
reset.
That's what it sounds like he's talking about.
Well, we only have
Yeah.
one of those, so that's
Just
not usually gonna.
speculative. I don't know. We're gonna keep an eye on it. I don't know.
If they're doing that and it's so close to the, and you, okay, so usually the policy on this is that if you catch them and it's about to be server reset, they're already in handcuffs and stuff. They should come back to the PD. or whatever afterwards.
What
Yeah,
happens
now-
at the PD? They contest the evidence and they go, "Where's the casing?"
Go to
They
the
don't-
fucking washing machine.
Yeah.
wash it, and it's done.
What do you want them to do then?
Call them cringe.
Yeah, seriously.
God
That's kind of what I was thinking as well, but no.
Flash me has the evidence.
You have tools at your hands if you run into that also.
Yeah, that's just. Yeah, if people do that, then they're, you know, lame. But
Cringe.
if they're not in handcuffs and it's that close to the storm, I guess they call it. Whatever.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Al gives a poop.
Yeah, they're just gonna start shooting each other as soon as it probably.
Yeah, that's what
gets
they did, and
back
we
anyway.
didn't even respond. So.
Yeah, see, there you go. So you could probably just, if you have to, probably just, if it's that close, don't respond to it. Wait until the reset, and then respond to it afterwards. When they do it again.
Fair enough.
So.
We had a question or a comment from the audience from a lesser known member of the PD. He's kind of new here, kind of new to role playing.
Okay.
He plays Bill Cole. His name is Mosin.
Okay.
Who?
Thank you. Can you put that
Yeah,
photo
who?
up, Legend?
Oh,
It's very
yeah,
scientific.
Must be you. Never heard of him.
This is just
Yeah,
my
he's
one
got a
comment for everybody who's new or old or whatever. If you're old, I hope you agree, and if you guys don't agree with me, you can just you can spot ban me here. So for this applies to criminal things roleplay, and this applies to cop roleplay. And this is actually a really good time. We got this gang war going on, which is cool, very cool. But if you imagine the bottom of this bar is time, and the left of the bar is like aggression, these events that happen, like gang war right now, it eventually is gonna have a peak if it hasn't already. But the point of all of these like singular events is for eventually it's gonna cool down, right? So make sure that when we're responding as police, we try to respect as much as we can, like the lead up. We don't want to just like fuck with people when they're starting to like maybe build something up, whether it's they're a small time crime or maybe it's just like a singular incident, like as far as escalation goes. And we want to respect them building it up. It has a peak, shit gets bad, we can respond accordingly, but we have to also accept that eventually it's going to cool down, and we need to also reflect the cool down in how we respond to people, right? I'm sure the Vagos and whatever Cool Boys Club, whatever it is, and Steel are gonna Sunset, whatever. They're eventually gonna stop, just shooting each other every day, and that will be a good story for them. And we also eventually need to, stop putting our boots on people's neck, and respect that they're cooling things down, because eventually, something else will pop up and we can do all this again. But if we just keep shit at 100. It's really fucking bad, and it just turns into like PvP on the server for like 6 months. So when it comes to like dealing with little criminal incidences, the same thing applies. Like, don't tase people immediately. If it's a little low level crime, the guy's just running away from you, don't just tase him or fuck him up because you can. Try to let there be a natural escalation of the incident, and don't let them push you around. If they do shit, fucking do it. Don't just start at 15 when we have these incidences. Try to let there be a little bit of a growth, and it'll be a fun experience for everybody. So sorry for yapping. I just I play Crim on occasion, and
Was there a
I like
question in there?
No, I don't know why he said a question. It was a comment.
Do you want to sit in my seat? Is this?
No, I can't. I can't sit in your seat.
But guys, what if I have to tase somebody?
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say, but what if I have to tase somebody? Because I can't run, considering everybody RP jokes that I have scoliosis on this character.
Throw a shoe at them.
What?
Throw a chancla.
What if I want to tase them because I can't run in a hobble?
Then maybe play out physiotherapy or get.
I mean, you're just. Maybe
But then
you
that
just
ruins
not
the.
a
But
good
Miles,
cop.
that ruins my character. I don't want to do the surgery.
Don't do foot chases.
Yeah, just stay in your vehicle. That's what I do.
Okay, guys, I'll stay mobile from now on.
I stayed mobile for like 2 months because I was.
PK, get with the program.
I'll stay mobile. Okay, I'm just joking. I'll stay mobile.
I said in my sergeant interview, I'm old. I'm gonna stay in the vehicle while the young fucking cops chase people on foot.
Yeah, you're old.
It's just make adjustments. You know, don't be at
Yeah.
15 the whole day. You know,
Or-
be at 5 and then be at a 10 and then go
was
down
that?
and up.
Or they get away. Who
In
cares?
regards to what Mosen's saying, it is kind of important, and I think something we don't do enough here is it's okay, especially for lower end petty crimes like stolen cars and stuff, to just take their shit and let them go.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I've taken people's lockpicks before.
or
Yep, same.
if they've done it, if it's like their second time you catch them do it that day, you can also fine them, take their shit, and put them on parole, and let them go. And then and you can do stuff like that. So, with misdemeanors, you can be lax like that. You don't have to always send them to jail. It's also really good for rapport with in RP for the crims. If you do that, you can build more trust. You can build more of a better relationship, so you can have easier interactions with them, or be able to get a little more info out of them. If you're looking for something. Also, it also helps stop a vicious circle, kind of like what Mosen was saying. Of if we go hard, then the crims are going to have to go hard, and then that means we have to go harder, and then they're going to get sweatier, and then we're going to have to, then we're going to always be people going to complain about us being with a W mentality, and that's where that comes from in the first place. So we don't need to do that. You know, just you could just have fun. No one's you're not gonna get in trouble for officer discretion unless you let some guy go with a murder warrant. And if you do get in trouble, you might get RP yelled at, but you're not gonna get fired for something like that.
Yeah, misdemeanors are misdemeanors. You can just break off those fucking things if you're chasing the person for so long. Nobody cares. Like, if there's any sort of felony or violent shit going on, you're chasing someone from a misdemeanor pursuit, you should probably just break off that pursuit and go to that instead. No one's gonna yell at you or fire or anything for that.
Hey, Linda.
In regards to that, there's the other thing, which is obviously the changes to pitting that we've made, and obviously we've put that as lethal force now. In regards to maybe that being one of the
Pretty
only
good.
other options,
So in the middle of it,
to
tomorrow is the
stop
day off.
or try to end a pursuit. I will say this: our criminals are not always the best drivers, right? There's so it's usually kind of easy to box them sometimes, especially with our cars, stuff like that. But in general, you chase them if it's not going anywhere, if you can't catch them, or whatever. There's no problem with you.
We're doing like a
breaking
VR
off
OOC
or
kind
whatever,
of discussion.
Go to a different chase, something that's more important, robbery or shooting or something like that. Now, obviously, in the future, we will have some tools to help besides pitting. So that will be a thing because, like I said last night, and I've said this before. Damn it.
Pretty sure we went over this yesterday, Miles.
Like I've said last night, is I personally hate pitting in GTA because it is a desyncy mess, and it's just a nightmare. So I usually am not the biggest fan of pitting because it usually ends up with one person saying you're getting rammed, the other person saying that was a perfect pit, and then you get into the my eyes thing and yawn. So I prefer other methods, or you just out driving them. But once there's more cars and stuff like that, things will be very different anyway.
Is that Bob?
I think it's
Alex?
I had one question in regards to
that's Beard.
Back! Oh, he's back. He's alive. Yeah, regarding pitting. Am I good to ask the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So obviously there are going to be certain situations where like Crims have kind of tagged on to the fact that we're we only pit when we're aiming to kill. What do we kind of do with those Crims who maybe like tap us out of the way and things at like low speeds, like 20 miles an hour and things? Because obviously it's seen as aggression from them, but to me it doesn't warrant lethal force in retaliation, if that makes sense.
Just don't do it.
Oh wait, so they're trying to
kill you.
Trying to bump you off of a chase.
At like low speeds, though. I'm talking like 20 miles
At
an
20
hour.
miles an hour, it's not worth it.
So like something like you're getting boxed and you're trying to get out of the box.
Yeah.
That's not. You don't use lethal force on that. If they're just like bumping you a little at the start of it, and it doesn't seem like, I guess you kind of have to read what kind of situation it is, whether it's like, if it's Vanessa DuPont doing it, then she's probably just a moron, and it's not probably
Deadly force.
It's not worth deadly force, but also it's Vanessa DuPont, so probably deadly force. But in those things, just kind of gotta gauge it. If it doesn't feel like right, if it doesn't feel
I ride a bike.
You can always you can always err on the side of caution in some of these things, and you'll be fine. You're never gonna get kind of like, I guess, in trouble to the point of being like actually in trouble or fired if you always erred on the side of caution for things, right? Because that's, you're always trying to de-escalate a little bit, and you're also trying to have some fun. And let's be honest, GTA is about chases and stuff like that. So, have chases.
That's right, Bauer.
I guess it's just because it's like a lot of the time from like previous servers and things, whenever any kind of aggression is shown, even if it's at low speeds, it's always been like, right, if you do that again, I'm gonna send you to the sun, kind of thing.
Okay.
So those pit OCPs you're saying are you're reading them wrong.
Okay.
People get pit, but if someone's just like hitting your car like 25 miles an hour, just I don't know. If you're going 25 miles an hour, get them off the road and try to arrest them. I mean, they're not moving. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
Remember, 25 miles per hour when you're going 100 is very different, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going 100 and they hit you at 25 miles an hour, they're trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So
100% different.
this happened yesterday, where someone 2 days ago, when I think it was Bundy and them were in a pursuit, and someone like head on them at like the same exact speed. Like if that happened, you get out of your car and you start shooting that vehicle. That's they're trying to kill you at the point. You know what I mean?
I totally did that. I totally killed him.
Yeah. Okay.
Torpedoes.
Yeah. I think on that note too is there's also a difference between, shouting at them like, "Hey, if you do that again, I'm gonna pitch you to the moon," versus like you actually following through with that. Like it's role play. You're yelling at them to try to get them to stop so they don't pit you. But like realistically, I'm not gonna pit them to the moon, right? Unless I have to we're gonna shoot them or something. But if it's something minor, you might yell at them, but like that doesn't mean that you're gonna actually do it as well. Like you can still have fun with it.
Yeah, like I said about like charging people and stuff like that, kind of understand that there's another side, and this is give and take, and you're not here to be oppressive. Like I said, you guys are usually the first impression that a lot of people get when they come here, and if you are just a piece of shit to them and super aggressive and just and oppressive, they probably will not want to come back and play here anymore, right?
Yeah.
So
like
it's important to just kind of remember there's other people.
Is the
there,
stream
and
okay?
You're not trying to fuck them over. Or
It keeps freezing
anything
whenever I go
that.
back
Now,
to the game.
obviously, if it's somebody who you have a
Might need to
I mean,
restart
roleplay
OBS or something.
context matters all the time. Like
How is
said,
it on
it's
your
not a math
side?
formula. So if you're running into somebody who you
Okay,
have
because whenever I
history
click
with,
back into the game,
like,
it seems to like freeze up.
Jerry
I
and
don't know
Golf
if it's just
Gang,
my graphics
he's gonna
card.
just, as soon as they walk on his property, he's just gonna shoot them.
With God mode on.
Oh.
Okay.
That doesn't change how good of a shot that was on Mo. Okay.
It's Mo Curl, man. Anyone can shoot
He
Mo
went
Curl.
flying. It was really funny.
Anyway, there is obviously role play things. Role play will always be
Yeah, OBS for some
the-
reason
the
it's like
most
frozen
kind of
when I'm not
important part of
tabbed
it.
into the game.
Enjoy yourself with that.
True.
Immerse yourself in the world. Doesn't have to be realism. It's all about immersion, right? We have a pug that's a devil that can't be killed, but it's immersive to our world. He's just part of our community, so that's fine.
Immersive but not realistic.
Just make sure you're thinking about that stuff. And really, I think for a lot of cops, when I was interacting when I was playing Johnny Sosuke, I think the one thing I could have told a lot of the cops is just lighten up, have some fun. It just felt like a lot of the times it was this stressful thing that they had to run through these robotic maneuvers to do it, or they were going to get in trouble or something, when they can really just, have some fun, make choices, and it's fine. You can get yelled at. It's fine. Usually not an OOC thing. You're not going to get fired for being yelled at if you do something goofy. Sometimes you do something goofy on purpose. That's fine.
Yeah.
We
Also,
have
at the end of
people-
the day, yeah. Go ahead, Mantis.
It's important for you guys to understand. We have people at the top that understand this, and will keep an eye on it and make sure that stuff doesn't go overboard, or someone doesn't get punished too hard for something they shouldn't get punished for, and stuff like that. So that's also what I'm here for. Bear is helping me with that, obviously, and then we got the El Capitans that also can help too. So when I can't be around, but you'll always have that. I'll always be keeping an eye on that. So I have a vested interest in the police being fun, and done it before, so I want to do it again. It's a good feeling. So, any other questions?
I got one.
Yep.
You want to talk about PD DOJ stuff? Because I know a lot of people are not happy right now with
right.
lawsuits and the such and case
Oh,
laws
okay,
and a
yeah.
bunch of things.
I'll talk about this a little bit.
I
Okay.
wonder who was responsible for half of the problems.
Okay.
You.
We did talk about this last night a little bit. There's okay. So one of the reasons I think fixing some of the philosophy and attitude that we project as cops will be a snowball effect on a lot of other things, whether that's the interactions with civilians and criminals, your lawsuits and pretty much all that type of stuff. It's a snowball effect. Now, we do have a lot of lawsuits, but the thing is that if you're gonna play a hard ass, all right, and you're gonna be a fucker, I guess, then just expect to get lawsuits. Because if you think of it this way, civilians only have one way to really fight back against you. Crims have another way, right? They can shoot you. But obviously that's very expensive right now, and there's not a lot of access to things, so that might change. But they might also choose the path of suing because it's less oppressive. But their only way to fight back is through lawsuits.
Sometimes they do both.
For instance, when I know a few times when I was getting arrested on Sosuke, I think actually Puggle was for one of them, where you get so frustrated because there's no
Caffeine.
give and take between you and the cop, that you
What do you want to say?
just want to sue. Like that's your only recourse against them in general, right? So it kind of depends on what kind of cop you're gonna be. It also depends on how well you know RSMPC. And it also will be about the mending the relationships between us and the rest of the server, right? If the perception, because even if it's not usually with cops, it's not one bad egg that'll ruin the bunch. If there's like a bad egg in every shift or a couple of them,
So
and
scazed.
they're very frequently arrested.
I don't know. I heard a rumor they might be
That's the
coming back at
perception
some
people are
point.
going to get, and they're just not going to want to interact with you at all, right? So it's a snowball effect. It depends on how you treat them, and how you interact with them, and your attitude with it, right? It's not going to change overnight. Obviously, if there's frivolous lawsuits, I have been working pretty hard on PD stuff, but obviously I am helping with the DOJ too and government. So Occam's, myself, and Bio will probably be reviewing some stuff pretty soon and look at some of those lawsuits. But a lot of the times, the reason why people are putting those lawsuits out is because it feels like that's their only way to fucker you back. I guess, right? Yes.
Can you talk about the importance of, if you are going to play a style of a cop that is a jerk, the importance of knowing how to play a cop that's a jerk that makes it fun for both sides?
It is not easy, first of all, because generally fucker type characters always toe the line.
Admins, hello.
Yeah.
I think Veggie's pretty good at it, I will say. He is a bit of a fucker. And
No, I'm not.
You know what kind of, well, you know, you're pretty by the book, I guess. I think, well, maybe let's see, what's a better example?
Genesis Bloom golf cart.
People crash. He goes,
Oh yeah, I go on the
Oh, yeah,
megaphone and
Breeze.
laugh at people when they make mistakes in
Breeze,
pursuits.
and I would say Maddox is another really good example of it, who can be a pretty bit of a very serious, hard-ass cop. But if you're gonna do that, you got to be prepared for how they're gonna react, right? So it is. It's not one size fits all, obviously.
I am very
you just
lenient.
need to always remember, role play is give and take. So just be aware that if you're gonna keep taking, and there's no give for them at all, they're not gonna have fun. So if you're gonna be a hard ass, sometimes, you know, when I'm, you know, I have a character trait of being very petty. People are assholes, and if I am starting to be petty, which usually means I become a little bit of a hard ass, I usually open myself up to either getting shot or them getting away or something like that, right? There's always got to be some type of give and take. If they feel like they're trapped, if you feel like you're making them feel like there's no repercussions that they can do, and you're
No
locking
license
them in
plate.
a box, and that's it.
Yeah.
You're not listening to them, and you're not
True.
talking to them.
I mean,
you're
it
talking at
fits.
them,
The charge
then
fits.
they're not going to have a good time. So this is just a role play advice in general, right? You just want to have fun. You want to make sure that you guys are both enjoying yourself. I think we are very lucky on this server to be able to have people who can have those types of reputations. I will say, someone like Rob Mist, who really toes the line, but he is like famous around the city, you know what you're getting when you get Rob Miss, and that kind of makes it unique, right? But if everybody's Rob Miss, then it's not unique, it's not fun, and it's boring, and everyone's gonna hate their life.
I hate Rob Miss.
So I think that's the best possible example I can give. What I told people last night, if you're new to this, and I say if you haven't been a cop for more than 6 months, then
That is funny.
most
The Rob Miss fan
important
club was
thing for
hilarious.
you to do first.
Such a funny idea.
Do you want to share it with the class, Ayub?
No,
you
me
know-
and Miles are handling this situation right now.
Don't worry
Okay.
about it. We witnessed some metagaming. We're handling it, boss.
Okay. Yeah. What? I don't know. Why do you call him? All right, go sit down. What was it? Now I lost my chain of thought. Oh, okay. The most important thing when you're starting is learning the basics, right? You need to turn that stuff into muscle memory, or you'll always be fighting this balance between trying to role play your character, but also knowing how to be a cop, knowing what RS and PC is, knowing what you can do in regards to those things, the fundamentals, and it's a miserable time. So I remember when I started, it was a really humbling experience. I struggled. I thought I couldn't figure it out. I didn't think I'd ever be able to do it. But it comes over time, and it does click. But you really have to make sure that you get that muscle memory of understanding the basics of being a cop, like the stuff that Vera talked about yesterday. Focus on that, and then your character will naturally develop through the progression you make, learning more or becoming a little more free from having to think so much about like what RS and PC is. Do I have enough? And stuff like that. So I highly suggest. It worked for me. It's worked for a lot of people. Done this a long time. So I would focus, and that's why we're doing these academies, on the fundamentals. Because once you get those to being a point where you don't have to think about them, then all you got to do is role play, and it's much more comfortable, much more fun, less stressful. You are going to make mistakes. Okay. No problem with making mistakes, especially as a cadet. That's the point of being a cadet. Mistakes. Screw up. Do something wrong. Get it corrected and learn from that. So that's just a thing. I consider like even like up to a year still being kind of new-ish. Because it takes a lot of time and experience to be able to be comfortable with more and more situations. It really does. So don't beat yourself up over it. Don't stress yourself out. Ask questions. If you have worries in an OOC manner, you can ask people in some form. I will try to answer them. Like I said, this is myself and many others have put our heart and soul into this. So the only thing I want is for this to work.
Kimberly
I'm not
Johnson.
here to do anything but have you guys have fun and be great. So if you have questions and you don't want to say them here or they come up later, please just DM me. It might take me a little bit depending on when you DM me to respond, because I did wake up to actually 51 today. That was a lot of
Jesus.
them. So sometimes they might get buried, but I will look, especially if it has to do with a question about cop work. So please don't be afraid to ask any of that stuff, because I just want you guys to have fun If you know me from the past, you know, pretty good at having fun. Obviously, Toretti here is kind of a piece of shit, but kind of has to be for now. But he's also a boomer, so once we get going, it'll even out. But yeah, I think it's very important, and I think one of the things we're really trying to work on is the basics, understanding them, and a few fundamental changes into how we think about policing. So, I got another example that's important, and this will go into the announcement. In regards to charging people. Now, we talked about this earlier. Bear brought this up. I've talked about this multiple times. And this is another thing that will have a snowball effect regarding relationships with the public and relationships with the DOJ and your happiness. And that has to do with you in general. Now, this is in general, not all. It's not a math problem. You charge what you can prove in court. Okay? It's not just PC. This isn't real life. We have limits. So you, in general, and mostly on most things, you want to just charge them what you can prove in court, what you believe you truly can prove in court, not something you just have PC for. Because there's obviously that difference there, right? You can arrest somebody with PC and bring them down to the cells. You can talk to them. You can try to finagle them into a confession or something. And if they don't, and you know you don't have enough, probably gonna have to let them go. But that will help a ton with congestion in the DOJ, the amount of frivolous lawsuits, the amount of stupid, lazy, boring appeals, the amount of times you have to go to court, and the amount of hate that people have for you as a police officer, as a civilian or a criminal, right? That's very important. Yeah.
Last thing, I promise I'm done.
Hey, speak up.
Oh, sorry. One last thing, and then that's my last. It's not really a question, but just more wanting you to, for the folks that weren't here when we had like store robberies came about, and there was a big to do, and everyone was freaking out. The importance of when new things do come, giving criminals and civilians, people, the space to figure those out without just running in and shutting them down and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's something I have noticed. I think it comes from. I think it just comes from people just kind of gotta just relax and have and just chill a little bit, you know. I saw this a lot. There was the pig robbery. There was the pharmacy robberies, where I think I remember the mentality when I was watching those things happen was, you know, oh, that's a government facility. We can pit them right away, right? Well, I mean, if you thought about it for a few seconds, you realize that what would the point of that be? If there was a robbery of a pharmacy and the point was that they get out and then he immediately gets slammed into a wall, well, you know, what's the point, right? So kind of the mentality of you kind of want to discover what's going on. That's a good way of looking at it. Like the pig thing, you kind of want to see what's going on. You want to arrest them because you want to talk to them about what they're doing. Kind of want to get
we took 3
pig
hostages
or whatever,
the first time we did
find
that.
out more information about it. Kind of want to let it. Hate saying let it play out. I hate that. God, I hate it. But you know, you want to let things breathe. You know, you don't want to be the first. The first thing in your head should never be, how do I stop this? Right? It should just be role play. You know, role play over anything, to be honest. So I really implore you guys to think like that. Now, I do remember when the store robberies came out, and I remember because I personally was begging for store robberies to come in because I wanted something of the basic hostage chase scenario, robbery scenario, but in a petty crime form. And I do remember how one, overwhelmed the police was, and two, how the interactions were with people there. You don't want people to be lazy. If they are lazy and they're not putting any effort in, then yeah, you're gonna, run in there and tackle them or tase them and put them in cuffs if they're just gonna be real lazy, like running into the store, doing it and saying pretty much nothing while they're behind the counter. But if they're RPing behind the counter, right, and you get there and they're like saying a bunch of funny stuff or they're trying to stall you out, let them stall you out. Kind of go along for the ride a little bit, enjoy the role play, and have some fun with the conversation, because once you get in your cars and you drive away, the conversation stops. I mean, it depends on what kind of role player you are. I'm more of a, as you know, I'm not much. Oh, I'm a bit of a driver, but I'm more of an improver. That's kind of what my thing is, and I'll always kind of go for that type of role play. So just keep that in mind, and it really should be like the attitude of, how do I stop this as fast as I can, to just never be in your head. That will change later on, probably, when more high stakes things come and things are bigger, more serious, and things like that. But that's obviously where your supervisors, lieutenants, captains come in to help guide you in those directions. It's the point of them to do that. They have the experience. They know how to handle a lot of these things, so they can help guide you through it, and then you can learn from them, and then you can be that too. But that's a very important kind of concept I want you guys to think of. You don't have to be, idiots and play dumb, because that's also really stupid. But you also just want to kind of do the give and take with them. And also don't allow laziness. You can punish laziness. So, yeah. Breaching, for instance, should be a very serious thing. It should be done, as approval from whoever the lead is, and usually that's the supervisor. They have more experience of knowing when you should breach, when you shouldn't, when things are going sour, when they're not, and stuff like that. I mean, tell you, I went to a store robbery on Toretti. I think the first one I got to respond to was Golf Gang, and it was Veggie, Sunny, and I don't remember who else. And I showed up, and they had no hostage, and of course they had 3 fucking bikes parked outside.
Yeah.
But
The good old days.
but the interactions with them was enjoyable, to the point that I didn't have to run in there
The 3
because they had
bikes.
no hostage and just breach, right? They stalled. It was funny, and there was also 3 of them. So logic would say, if you're by yourself, you're not going to run in there and start popping off. So that's the other thing. But no, and there's no problem with doing that. I mean, you might, if you're a lower end officer and a supervisor sees you do that, do something like that, they might say, why didn't you do this? And you just say, I don't know, sorry. That's probably the end of it. You're not going to get in trouble. It's okay to get yelled at in character. Everything is in character. Always assume everything's in character. You'll have a much better time if you take that attitude of, everything that's going on, every conversation you're having is always in character. It'll stop you from going down that really spoiled path that a lot of us unfortunately already have went through, where we're always kind of asking ourselves, do they really mean that, or is that just their character? Just try to stay with the idea that everything's in character, even if it's not. For you, consider it in character. Let other people worry about it if it's not in character. But you'll have a better time overall, and you'll be happier. Any other questions, please? Any scenarios you want to ask about? Any of these changes? Any nerves? Any worries? Please. This is the time. I wanted to do this. I wanted to make sure I had some, not one-on-one, but as much as time with you guys to talk about this stuff as much as possible. Come on, there's got to be something. You guys are all set?
I don't know if this is what you're thinking of, but I know for me, I have a really hard time doing any cop stuff around drug things because I feel like I have to have multiple pages open to even figure out what on earth I'm supposed to charge. I would love to see something where we could just put that all in one place, like in the charges. So when we're looking at it, we can go, oh, they've got this much marijuana, we can charge this or that, instead of having to cross-reference what the schedule is and all that. It just makes me avoid anything to do with drug stuff.
It's so dank.
Yeah, it kind of comes with
Yeah,
just.
the issue that we have is the alternative is having a misdemeanor and felony charge for every single drug inside the circulation.
Okay.
I would prefer to be able to search the drug and see the relevant charges.
Let me explain. I'll explain the purpose and why I wanted it with scheduling. So, the problem in the past that's always been an issue is that drugs would come in to the server, and they would be legal that shouldn't be, right? Just ridiculous drugs that would
new PD
that there
car.
would be a mechanic put in for that just became legal because they weren't specifically written in the penal code. So the idea is to generalize like 3 or 4 types of drugs and then have them all be under that same banner. So anytime a drug that is similar to that would come in, it would just fall right under the schedule. It'd automatically be illegal, and you just do it that way. Let me see what it currently looks like, and try to give you.
Nah, so
Yes.
you'll find out in character. The Golf Gang has managed to talk their way out of every war that potentially could have started.
Could we?
There's so many.
Hold on.
I mean, it all comes
Could
to
we
the
have
issue
the
of there's just.
schedule?
Okay, go
We
ahead.
had 3
What if it
potential
was
wars,
marked
and we
on-
talked our way out of all 3 of them.
What if it was marked on their like the description of the drug object, you know, just so we have something to reference that's right there in front of us. We don't. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like it's.
Hold on one second. Where do I find this?
It's
Not
under
manager?
bolos. Like the third one under bolos.
Just parentheses, you know, this is a schedule whatever drug.
Yeah, if you're looking for the
Bolos?
schedule stuff, it's under
Drug schedule for early
legislation.
access to 1125.
I see a lot of things here, so
This
would
is
have to
us
look.
every time we arrest.
Yes,
Report
this is our experience.
40797.
Hey, speaking of team, can we get MDW favorites tabs, please? Please and thank you.
I guess I've been doing it the long way.
Yes,
I go
please. Can we even
documents,
move tabs?
legislation, then find the drug stuff through that.
Same. I didn't even know this bolo
Yeah,
existed.
I didn't know the bolo existed.
Bolo.
It's a lot.
A lot of it just comes with experience and charging people with it multiple
Yeah,
times.
this is why I basically want nothing to do with drug roleplay because it's so confusing and I hate it.
Like that won't work because there's so. Honestly, there's just way too many jobs on the server. That's the main
Jesus.
problem.
Okay.
Find it.
Also, after this, I have a
Yes,
follow-up
I
question.
got it. Okay, so wait, what? Hold
This
on.
is the bane of my existence. I hate this. I hate the Smith Act. Just make shit a felony or not.
Can we make the beef act then?
No.
Okay. Okay. A little different than when obviously things change as things go along, but this was not how originally was. The look, the basic idea of the scheduling, and I'll write it down. Let me,
Oh
I'll
my
make sure I write this
God.
down so I have to write down every shit going on. I have to write everything down. Hold on. Okay, so the goal of scheduling is that you put the group of drugs, of the types of drugs, in one group. So you know that if it's cocaine, crack, whatever, they're all going to be Schedule 1. That's an automatic, you just know that's Schedule 1. And their group, and then Schedule 2 would be stuff like, probably like ketamine and benzos and stuff like that. And then the original idea was to have weed as something completely separate. That would have its own charge, could be different, wouldn't be in the scheduling, and it would just be, you know, weed. And then I think there would just be 3 schedules. I think that was the original idea. So I'll talk to the, you know, to Occam's and Bio. We'll look into it. We'll figure out how we can make it a little easier. But I will tell you the general idea that, and the goal is that each drug is a category. You don't need to think about the actual drug itself as much, and kind of just need to know the category it falls into. That's kind of the goal, because if we're gonna add as many drugs as we do, it's gonna be more difficult, and the penal code is gonna be gigantic, and it's gonna be redundant. So we will try to streamline it a bunch. The other thing we can do is I'll take a look at it and I'll talk to Occam's, and if we can Spark Notes the scheduling for the cops, we will, and put it in some documents for you.
Manufacturing?
Just make it very simple in general. Obviously, the other thing is we want it to be accessible to people, but also have depth to allow more in-depth role play regarding narcotics and people who are interested in going after the drug stuff. As a general patrol person,
Very ferocious green weed.
yeah, if you don't like it, then you know that's fine. But if you do like it, and the problem is that it's not accessible, like you're saying, then we will try to fix that.
So she
I
says
will
she
work on that.
grows and dries weed in this spot.
I will talk to
But there's
the
no.
boys
He pled guilty. But
later today, probably.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know
the
if I
main
would
issue
feel
I'm
good
trying to
about pushing
legislate
drug
is,
trafficking on her for
we've got
that.
drugs that will appear in the server like 3 different forms.
Just
so you
because
got
she said
pills,
she
you got
does it doesn't mean
powder,
she's
and
actually
everything.
doing
It just
it.
makes it such a big headache.
And they didn't
That's
find
the main issue.
anything related
that's why
to growing
yeah,
weed.
that's why we'll work on streamlining it. And in regards to
I wouldn't
tooltip
feel
thing,
good pushing drug trafficking on that.
Let me write that one down.
Yeah, I think
I
that
got your
easier
notes
for you
for
guys,
ya.
because then I can bring that back and fine tune it.
I think what would be easiest would be somewhere in the description, just some parentheses. This is a schedule whatever drug. That way we can just look that up in our penal code and do it directly. Because my issue is whenever I've had to do with drugs, I have someone in processing. I'm trying to figure out how to charge them, and then I'm sitting here trying to cross-reference all the stuff and figure out what to charge them with, while feeling bad that I'm holding them in processing to do this. You know, like, and I don't want to be in that position. So it makes me want to avoid 37s and anything drug related, just because I feel like I'm going to screw it up and make people sit in prison
rational.
longer.
It's fine. I mean, if it does take, look, if they have a ton of drugs and a ton of different pills on them, then it's probably going to take a little extra time down in the cells, no matter what, right? It's okay.
100%.
You're gonna probably spend a little more time. You just take some time served if you want, or whatever, and go through it. But I think what I would like to see is be able to have descriptions of what each schedule is, so that it makes it easier to know that, oh, that person has crack and heroin on them. That's schedule 1. Oh, this person has pills that they got from the hospital. That's a schedule 2. And then a lot of these other ones are because we have the very in-depth pill system. I think I have some solutions for that. So I'll talk to. We'll see what we can do about that. I have some ideas.
I have one thing on the drug thing, just so everyone knows. I won't give it away, but if you ever randomly pass out, make sure you're checking your status, your health, because you will get tooltips. There's things that happen in the server that it's important for you to check your status when you go down. So just make sure you do that. A lot of people don't realize that that's a thing. And there can be some really fun roleplay that comes from it if you pay attention. So I just found a lot of people that didn't even know that existed. So I just wanted to mention that real quick.
I have another
Hello,
feedback about the
Dispatch.
drug thing.
Grade 8.
Suggestion.
1041, 10 8.
It to me, it's always a little immersion breaking when people get drugs out of robbing a cop house or any player house that they wouldn't normally have drugs in their house. And when the crims complain, well, why did that house have drugs in it for me to steal anyway? I RP out, is we imported the furniture from China and they smuggled drugs and it fell out when you were robbing it. But if there was some other way for people to get those drugs as opposed to house robberies, because people
It's a
got
bit
drugs out of
weird.
robbing my house, and it just feels weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, and
Starting
it kind
an
of.
investigation into Bronx.
Well,
Got it.
Hold on. What? I know you could get pills. Is there? What other drugs do
You
you
can get
in
the
the
powder
house?
drugs.
Sometimes
I
you
think
can
it's
get syringes of
patches.
fentanyl.
You can get patches, syringes, pills.
Yep.
Bromide, which is like a paralytic.
Can't believe Wilson's a
that would
crackhead.
make no
Right.
sense
Yes,
to
yes.
have outside of a medical setting. But the reason why we do that is so it gives Crims a chance to be able to paralyze people, because people don't rob doctors enough. I walk around on Q as a loot box on purpose, hoping they rob her ass for her shit, but they never do.
Noted. Got it. Thank you.
So it's like a lot of the doctors do it too. A lot of them walk around as a loot box on purpose, hoping people will rob the shit off of us, but they never do. So it's like, I think they implemented it just to be able to give Crims, a way to get some of this stuff, because the paralytics are pretty fucking cool. They'll just down you. And then
I
can,
need to utilize
do
that
Crim
as
shit.
KB more.
I can vouch for that on Geek Squad.
Okay. I guess.
I would change it to KB right now. You wouldn't.
I guess one thing regarding that is sometimes you gotta kind of suspend your belief a little bit, because there's limits on mechanics and stuff, right? Obviously we can kind of come up with something. I mean, you have drugs from, I don't know, that were prescribed. You could say they were prescribed a long time ago or whatever. I don't know. Or they're your dad's or something.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Jerry's
matter. I
always
mean,
a
no
loot
one's gonna
box.
charge. No one should ever take into consideration the drugs that crims find in houses back to the owner of the house, right? Because that's not how the mechanics work at all. Just need to suspend the belief a little bit. There will be changes to that too.
You pup.
So in the future that will probably be not as much of a problem. But in regards to that, it just seems kind of cheap if people are trying to RP check you like that. I mean, it's not. What's the point?
Kind of like if we could throw them in dumpsters, especially around the hospital or something,
from-
other ways.
Yeah, from a criminal perspective, it's also weird. You know, like, what if your character would have nothing to do with fentanyl, and then it just gets shoved in your pockets while you're trying to rob the house? You know,
you just drop it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you get into an interaction, you might not have the opportunity, but
People just leave it in
I
the
don't know.
trunks of their cars. Like we rented a car on
Yeah.
Golf Gang and it just had a ton of fentanyl, and cops tried charging it with drug
I was
trafficking.
gonna say that might make more sense though, is for those kind of drugs to maybe, I don't know, show up in lock-picked NPC cars in the trunk or something like that as a spawn. That might make more sense than it randomly falling out of stuff from house robbery.
Pumps the victims of the house robbery.
Utilize the trunks more in lock-picking cars.
Yeah, I'm surprised there was.
Don't worry about that.
Ooh.
Forget about it. Forget about it.
Ooh. Yes, you got your hand raised.
I guess this goes more into back to the DOJ and stuff. Is the reason for like certain things being missing? Is it because they're supposed to be more developed through RP, or is it just to not, like Ayub said, overinflate the penal code at the moment? So like for instance, a couple of things that happened with me, right? I think I was with Vinny. We went to a 37 call. The guy had a bunch of money on him. He had drugs on him,
A lot
but
of
because
people
of the
here.
way currently the penal code was, I couldn't just charge him with possession with intent because the only thing we have is felony. It had to be basically a felony amount. I couldn't just hit him with like normal intent to distribute because like he had the money, right? He had like hundreds, fives, ones, and he had joint.
Just firebomb.
And then like, I think it was like 21.
Okay.
It was way below what it's needed for a felony. But you know, I know like I don't know if it was just more of an RP thing that needs to get brought up. And like another thing, Park and I tried to do it, and I realized after the fact, we pulled somebody over, because they took a right-hand turn in the middle lane, but there's no like improper use of turning from a wrong lane essentially.
Sure.
There's a
Good
case law
legend.
that you can still pull them over and then continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
In regards to the first thing, I'll tell you this. I'm not sure if we need a misdemeanor felony intent to distribute. Usually what happens with that is you charge them with the drugs, especially when it's a little bit of it, and then you confiscate the cash. Right. So if
Right,
you can prove
876
that
Ladies
that's where it was
37,
from,
Vinewood
or if
Hills.
that's where that's where you believe it's from, and if the person really thinks they can get away with it, they might try to appeal it, but they'll have to come up with a reason why they had all that stuff on them. You can also, the other thing you could do in a situation like that is interrogate. So bring him into a room, ask him questions, see if you can get him kind of say that that's how he got the money, and then if he does, you just confiscate the money, take it, and 20 joints is not really that much. A couple $100, not a lot, so it doesn't really warrant more charges, right? Those in general, that's a petty crime. I mean, if
So why
they're
don't you
pushing-
just charge him with sale?
Yeah,
You
you
can
can
charge them
post
with-
up and take a picture.
you could do sale, but in general that's really just a petty crime. We in most of the cases now we have petty crimes, so you really don't have to like, it's not a big deal if you don't
motor one back in service.
hit them hard with something, right?
Correction
So
motor
you
2.
could- but yes, in regards to case laws,
Right,
in
8 in
regards
an
to all this
80
stuff,
with a grey and
we,
coloured photo,
do
eastbound Spanish
everything
Avenue,
in
occupied one
character.
time with one
The
dustbin.
reason I wanted our own penal code and our own case laws, and I know some people and a lot of people think it's annoying because most servers don't do it, but from my experience, I could not stand using real life case laws that were so overpowered and didn't really work with GTA roleplay. So, for instance, Terry Frisk, I always bring up, way too OP, because there's a part of case laws with that, with officer safety, in GTA, everybody's got a gun, everybody's a criminal. You can always say that there's officer safety issues. I wanted to get rid of that. That's way too lazy, way too easy. You know, and doesn't really require a lot of role play to do. Yeah, we want to do our own, and you can always bring that stuff up, and you can always bring it to the mayor. You can always bring it to justices. They can talk about it, and see if we put in another crime. Also, this also goes along with when you charge people for things you only improve in court. If there's a situation, the exception is usually if there's a situation where you believe that this needs to be heard in court because it needs to be clarified, because you're unsure, they're unsure, whatever. That's the time that you're gonna push those charges, even if you can't 100% prove them, right? Because you're trying to get the law clarified, and you might get a law named after you. You might lose, but you might get a case law named after you, which is kind of cool too, which will carry over for pretty much ever. So that's usually the exception on that. And that also helps make it so that you only go to court when you want to go to court. I mean, sometimes you're still going to have to go to court, but you know, it'll cut down on the amount of times you have to go to court.
That doesn't mean push charges without PC. Still need probable cause.
So yes. Well, if you push charges without PC, you're violating the right by taking them down the cells and all that stuff anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm only saying that because a lot of people would just push charges without probable cause with the whole thing of, oh, I want to create a new charge. Still need probable cause.
Yeah, you still need probable cause. If you want a new charge, and that's the case, just talk to the mayor or talk to the justices and bring it up, and then it'll come back to the legislative branch, right? So that's the way to go around that. We are building our own case laws. We're going to keep building it. It's the reason in these academies we don't teach it very specifically on memorizing case laws and just memorizing concepts, because it is our own. It can be a lot, but what it does allow is it allows people who are interested or want to use all the case laws and go in depth. They can go deep dive in it if they want. They can learn about all that stuff. They can help other people, you know, use them to their advantage, stuff like that. So that's kind of it adds depth. That's the general thing. Yes, I was in.
Yeah, for the drug thing specifically, and Mantis said it, like sometimes we don't have everything we want, not because, you know, it's Van Snorst being evil in the DOJ and we hate Ayub. It's because, like, if we have the power to make every like beach dude selling a little bit of weed into a narco Pablo Escobar, because we have all the case laws we can to pump him, you just won't have any like little small time criminals. So like Ayub said, like sale of drug, just keep giving a guy sale of drug if that's all he ever does. He doesn't have to be a narco terrorist, you know, every time. It kind of goes back to that little parabola thing. Like, if you want to let someone work their way up to Pablo Escobar, they could do that, but don't just smoke them for selling a little bit of weed. You know, sometimes it's okay just to hit them with the sale, and that's it. Let them do a little petty crime.
If they just have weed on them too, you can also always just take the drugs and let them go. Another one of those situations. Which, if you are looking to build a case because you see this guy doing it all the time, I highly suggest you don't jam him up every time, because if you do, you're not going to be able to build a bigger case on him, because he's going to keep losing stuff, and you're going to have trouble following him to either where he keeps his cash or where he keeps his money or what he's doing. So, you know,
yeah.
If you're interested in doing that stuff too, you can, you know, you usually want to start off going easy on them, but this is stuff you learn on patrol, and you learn from, you know, experienced people who were detectives and did investigations and CID and stuff like that. I was a bit of a detective back in the day.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, I was part of the JTF and
Ooh, what's a JTF?
Joint Task Force.
I think it was just called the Joint Task Force. It was, but you know, I was one of those. I went through a phase where I could be like, all right, today I want to get a raid, and I would get it. So that's kind of you. I don't want to make it that easy, but also I would have to work for it sometimes. Sometimes it takes a lot of work if you want to do that, something like that. I don't want to make things too easy for the cops because everything can be an interaction. Shooting scenes can be an interaction. GSRing people, who to GSR, who to frisk, stuff like that. All is an interaction in an investigation. It shouldn't be a formula. And you can work off of that. Be a little more difficult, and that's kind of like the goal, is to give you guys the opportunity to work harder if you want, because working harder means you're interacting more rather than like being annoyed. Mostly like you have to ask them questions, you have to talk to them. You know, the interaction becomes more give and take at that point, less okay, you're on the scene, okay, I GSR you, okay, I frisk you, okay, I search you, okay, put you in car. You know, ways the the law is usually made to make sure you don't infringe on people's rights, which also makes it so that you have to be a little creative sometimes on how to get them. And it's a lot of fun. To me, I mean, some people might not, and that's fine. But to me, that's a lot of fun. I love trying to, like, talk to somebody and, weasel, be a little bit of a weasel and try to catch them in their game. There's obviously, back in the day, we used to say you would watch, what was it? What was it called, Miles? Word Foo?
Huh?
You remember what it was? The
verbal jutsu.
Verbal.
Yeah, verbal jitsu.
Verbal jitsu. You can always look up stuff like that.
Yeah.
On how to handle things if you're interested in it. Oh, but it came from the OG, Bayo. So Mike Bayo, the OG of
Oh
the
God!
OG.
Don't bring his name up for the HOA.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
he is still a boogeyman, but he
Huge
he was
curse.
one of the people who kind of pushed that. And if you want, go on YouTube, look it up. It's a cool little thing you can learn, and it also really enhances your role play. So yeah. It's a very long-winded and very descriptive answer to your question. Any other questions? Really? You guys don't have to ask me anything. Anything at all.
Well, you know.
Nope. Don't do it.
Hit him with it, Miles. Hit him with it.
Say it.
Do it, pussy. You won't.
Say it.
He knows better.
I'll do what everyone's been asking. When are you playing Doug Bean?
True. Where's Doug Bean?
Bean.
New Bean.
When's the Geek Squad of Dr. Foster coming back, please? We miss him.
I'm gonna kill that gang.
Where's Bean's dad?
Okay.
sheriff?
Okay. We're working. All right. Especially him and other people. It's doing some
What have
cool
you done with Nick of Time?
Where's
Yeah,
Genesis?
how many days exactly till Nikov Times come back?
Yeah. When is he released from the basement?
I'm not gonna acknowledge these questions, so you'll see.
That's good. That's okay.
Anybody have any other things they want to talk about? Any situations, any RP things, any things they're worried about, any conversations or interactions that were frustrating or whatever?
what if we show up at an ATM and then there's just a guy there messing with the ATM and should we just watch him from our car and let him just keep robbing the ATM the whole time? Forever?
I mean, the sky's the limit with how you want to do that, right? You can get out of your car, just like, hey man, what are you doing? And then see what he says. If they say nothing, then they're being lazy, and you just arrest them. But you know, if they'll talk to you, you can give them throw them a bone. But
I walk up to him and take a picture right next to them, and I
Yeah.
say, "This is for the DOJ."
You could do that too. Yeah, you could always do stuff like that. I mean, you could. There's plenty of ways to deal with it. I mean, if it's somebody that you know who's hit their third ATM that day, you can obviously be a little more aggressive. If it's someone you have like a rapport with, you could just set up and wait for them to get on their, hide in the corner and wait for them to get on their getaway car. You took a picture of them there, and just immediately light them up, try to catch them. You can do. There's plenty of different ways to do it. Obviously, the way you really don't want to do it is you see somebody doing that, you run up, tackle them, put them in handcuffs, throw them in the car. The end. Just don't do that. No.
Unless they're on a BF 400, then it's completely warranted.
You just run them over.
For now.
Tase them off the bike.
We have a solution.
Spam tase,
Joe
spam
Corolla.
tackle.
Just shoot him off his thing, please.
We have
Joe
a solution.
Corolla.
Style, London
Okay.
style.
What is it?
Yeah, we have a solution for the BF 400. Don't worry. Oh, well, this reminds me because Ayub took out a taser. Tasing, use of force, stuff like that. I do want to cover this a little bit more, just for you guys to take into consideration. One of the things I think is good, also it'll save us money when we have to get new cars, is possibly only using, when you're chasing somebody on foot, one person has a taser. Usually you don't need more than 2 or 3 people on a person. And if you do, one of the persons should have a gun, the other person should have a taser. You should be aware that, tasing, you want to think of it as less lethal, not non-lethal. So if you're gonna tase them over and over again, they're gonna take some. In game, I think mechanically they do take damage. But also, just think of it that way as like being a thing that you're doing, right? So the first step would always be tackle. If you can't tackle them and it's going on for a bit, you want to say, stop, you will be tased or something, whatever. Use your verbal commands. They don't stop, tase them, try to handcuff them. It doesn't work. They get up, they run. You chase them again, give it a little bit, and try to tase them again, possibly, or tackle them again. But I would think of the taser as something that
Vanessa
is,
DuPont got tased 4
less
times
lethal.
in the
Always
span of
think
a
of it like
second,
that.
and
You
she
don't wanna
died.
just
She
electrocute
got
the
down.
person until they're dead, right? If you're doing it over and over again. So that's kind of the best way to think about it in RP. That should help you with the whole spam tasing stuff. It should also help you decide when to do it without us having to like mechanically limit it. Yep.
Also, remember your walk style that you use and keep that in mind, like with the person you're chasing. Like I've changed my walk style a few times just because I noticed like sometimes the run is like giga faster than everybody else or something. So I've changed it to where it's like makes it more fun and more even.
Just do the worst run you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do mine.
Just run like Harold.
Well, to follow up on that, you can run however you want. Just you probably, if you're running faster than them, you probably don't need to tase them anyway, right? You can tackle them. You'll never need to tase them because you'll always catch them. Now, if you're running slow because you gotta, you whatever scoliosis like Astro back there, you just lose. You just lose. Just take the L.
Yeah.
If someone runs from him, they're getting away. There was
Just start insulting him, call him sick fuck, and away from him with scoliosis.
yeah, you could do stuff like that. There was a funny, so there was a person back in the day that played a character named Barry, and he was always on the verge of death.
Bro.
So
Very brittle.
whenever he would chase somebody, if he tripped or he tried to tackle him, he would go unconscious. So he would always lose foot pursuits, and that's fine. That's very unique, and that's great. I love that. So it's just fun. So yeah. Keep that in mind. Maybe we'll make a few possible adjustments to tasers. Maybe make it a longer reload time to help make it easier for you guys, so you don't have to think as much. But there really isn't pressure. Just think about not being a jerk, okay? Just think of the give and take, and just kind of like have some fun. Don't gamify it either. The circumstances matter. You're chasing somebody for a murder warrant, they're probably gonna get tased a little quicker. Another question that happened last night that I guess I should cover again, but was regarding batons and flashlight. Think of a baton and a flashlight. It is less lethal, but it will end the pursuits like a gun, right? So there should be certain requirements met to use that use of force, right? Because a tase will not knock them unconscious. It will stun them, a stun gun, but if you pop them over the head with a baton, they're gonna go unconscious, right? It's a little bit of a escalation. So if them breaking cuffs is not a reason to hit them with a baton, okay? Them punching a cop or tackling a cop possibly is a reason. Now, again, context matters. If you're chasing a crim that is essentially in more of a L crim, you know, that's kind of their shtick, then don't just beat the shit out of them, you know. You'll probably catch them anyway. But you know, if it's some type of like big chase with car swaps and stuff like that, and they're tackling you or they're trying to uncuff their friends, yeah, you can beat them up. But we want to keep it as less gamified as possible. We want to keep it as loose as possible. We have that ability here to do that. We don't have to make it so that we have to make these rules so people know not to, you know, do some shitty things. But yeah, keep that in mind. Yeah.
Is it on the list? I'm sure it is, about bushes and like you can't unlock cars, or like if somebody drops something in a bush, you can't open the bag, stuff like that. In terms of fixing that.
That sounds like a skill issue.
No, it's a mechanical.
No, it's a mechanical issue. It has been since the server started.
No, it's not.
Really?
That only happened when I asked for collision to get off farm plants. Because people kept driving to the farm fields and there was like a concrete cone, so that cars would get disabled. So then they got rid of collision, and then it made it so you can't interact with stuff inside of bushes. It was like a.
I wrote it down. I'll
That one's really high priority.
Yeah, it's.
I'm pretty sure it's somewhere. It's been
I think
mentioned.
it's.
I don't know.
Well, thank you
I'll
for
be
letting
in
me
here.
know. Thank you. I'll bring it up ASAP.
Yeah, I've hidden a car in a bush before and I can't unlock it to get in.
So if you
True.
own it, just do the appear thing.
Oh, okay.
That is okay. If a crim runs up to a car and they do the appear thing because it's scuff lock, that's fine.
when you come across those kind of big things like that,
There was a
you can always,
pursuit yesterday, a foot pursuit
talk to message
with the
Miles
ballas,
or an
and
admin or something.
one of them dropped a gun in a
and they can
bush,
always, reach out
and
to,
I think Miles had to like
devs or
open his
like
admin menu
me,
to
and I can make
retrieve it.
sure if it's like a super
because
high
we couldn't
priority,
grab
we
it.
get it done. So, yes, we're always.
We do get admin tickets where it's like, hey, this happened, is this okay? And then we just go, yeah, it is. Well, no, it isn't. An admin ticket doesn't have to be like a massive thing or go into, reports or whatever. It can just be if you're confused about a mechanical situation that happened.
Yep. There's no harm in doing it. I am completely indifferent to all of you forever. So you can say whatever you want and ask as many questions as you want to get clarity, as long as
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
you're being cordial. But either way, if you're a douche, some people are just douches. Anything else? Any other question? Anything they want to ask? Any apprehensions, fears, through this whole process?
Will you get some pizza?
Pizza, pizza,
Yes.
pizza,
we will
pizza.
have-
Pizza Friday gonna happen on Friday?
Pizza Friday on Friday.
So, we will. What we'll probably do is have a very special Pizza Friday coming up.
Ooh.
Who knew pizza delivery?
Ooh.
Nice.
Like this Friday?
Like this, yeah, which
News
Friday?
pizza.
Which Friday are we talking, Mantis?
Is there any other questions?
I'm so excited for the new pizza.
Please.
What does it
please
mean?
ask. Because other people probably want to hear the answer too.
I have a random question. Is my voice ever like wicked loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I have my gain turned all the way down and my volume turned all the way down in the settings as well. And I don't know how to make my voice even like less dank.
I mean, I'm just used to it.
Oh, dang.
The point.
Not
I might be able to help you later.
Not
After
gonna-
this, we can talk.
not gonna lie, Ayub, yesterday, your voice was really bad that I was like close to just saying like I'm gonna stop the session because my ears were hurting. I think
Should've
it just
said
happens to a
something.
lot of people.
Yeah. Okay. Please tell me that.
Yes,
Yeah,
please
same.
tell
You sound
people-
fine, XCOM. I don't have any problem with you.
No, it's awkward, but if you notice somebody's different than they usually are,
Yeah,
sorry,
I didn't mean to
make
cut
sure
you.
you say it.
Yeah.
Man just said he's gonna be
sometimes- and the
very busy
server,
this
I don't know if it's
weekend.
because of the way my setup is so fucking overcomplicated.
A bunch of stuff got
but
canceled this
basically on my
weekend
mixer,
or next
when I talk to
weekend.
certain people, that shit's speaking red. when I talk to people.
What mic do you have?
I have a Shure SM.
They said you can't
58,
schedule
which is
the
like a
boot
normal
camp
gauge
retrainings
mic, and I
on
have
next
DC
weekend.
770 headphones. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it's like
How close
Legend
is it to your
you-
mouth?
2 to 5 inches.
Put it closer right now.
Put it really close right now. Like
Yeah.
I'm basically it's like an inch away.
That-
But what I've noticed too
Inch
is I think it's
more
because
3
of
days.
my setup. Like Legend said yesterday that apparently he was hearing himself through my headphones.
Hey, I'm right here. Yeah,
Are
that
they
happens
open
with
back?
some people.
Yeah, what about
No,
me
they're
now?
closed back.
I have open.
You still
back
sound
to
the
the
same. You
sound
still
fine,
sound the
man?
same to me.
Wait,
XCOM.
talk rain?
Hello?
Better now.
Sound
It
good.
sounds a little overloaded, in my opinion.
Your
Nothing's changed.
UFS 58. Yours should. I can try to help.
It's
some
not
people with-
so. It's not so my mic itself. It's like when I'm talking to other people on my mixer, it is red for certain people, like all the time. And I don't know if it's a me issue or a server issue.
You know what? If you're having some struggles with that stuff, just thank you. DM me today.
Okay.
And we'll chat about it. I'll try to help you because I am a bit of a audiophile.
Same. I mean, yeah, I kind of am too. I actually
it's
ended
like-
up going to school for it. But
Oh,
even this,
look at
like,
you.
I'm just like, you know, I don't know what the fuck's the issue. Cause like, I'll have times where point 0.1 on the radio is too quiet, but point
Right.
2 is fucking blowing my ears out.
That's how it is.
Right. Yeah, that is a. We'll talk about it. It has to do with a bunch of different things.
Okay.
Yes, Veggie.
I have a question about exigent circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
Good question.
Yeah.
I had a situation a couple days ago with Martin Pierce. We got a 1047 at the casino, right? And we were looking for whoever was downed. We couldn't find them. I was about to breach the casino to go in to try to rescue him. And Martin Pierce and Kuze came out of the casino with Martin Pierce
Oh
Oh
downed.
my god, we're gonna do the exact same case law. Oh, not again. We're gonna do the exact same
So
case.
that's what
I told him.
I was talking to Vesperance, you know, OOC. We're just kind of discussing it, and he said that that wasn't exigent circumstances, and I thought it was because it was a 1047 call, and you know somebody's life was in danger, so I thought I could breach and just get in there and rescue them. But was that a right use of the emergency aid doctrine? Yeah.
Okay. Well, then Vesperance, I want to hear why you said that first. Your explanation.
I said it because it really needs to pinpoint where the hell it is. Like, it can be in the nearby area, but if you breach that at that point without knowing specifically where it is, it can lead to an illegal breach, right? Obviously, in this case, it wouldn't be, but that is why I feel like a cat alert, you cannot rely on just a cat alert.
So yes and no. So what I would say is, in regards to something like that, if you did it, it would the outcome would basically be an RP thing, right? But when it comes to stuff like that, I'd like to have a or, you know, usually you need a little more. This would have been a better question for Vare, because he did go over it a bit yesterday. But usually you need a little bit more to do it, like either a trail of blood, or you see somebody with, you know, inside with a gun or a knife or something, and then you can do it. If not, you're always on the better side of contacting a judge, if you can, and asking for a search warrant quickly, right? The paperwork in general can be done either by a partner or right after, but if you call the judge and said, hey, I got this situation, and they say approved, then you should be fine that way. I mean, we have limitations on, obviously it's a game, so we have limitations on how you would do a quick call a judge and fill out a paper or something for it. So just call a judge. If they say, yeah, that sounds good, then you can do it. And then and then write up the search warrant afterwards. Just to skirt around those limitations, but to allow the role play to play out. That sounds good, right? Van Snorst is gone.
It's always me who has the rest stuff done, huh?
Van Dumpst.
Did you hear what I said to you?
Yeah?
Okay. You like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just contact the judge. Honestly, it's one of those where a bunch of judges will probably have different thoughts on it, and it'll be a wider discussion if it was ever reached court. But yeah, in the meantime, just call a judge.
Should be a
and-
pretty simple ask a judge. If they say that you have an injured person in there, and it's locked, you're not getting an answer, you tell a judge that, they'll probably give. They usually, I mean, if it's an injured person, they should say yes.
Yeah. What if there's no judge around, and I just like, oh shit, like someone might be dying in there. I gotta get in there and rescue them.
I mean, the whole point of
in good
emergency.
faith at that point, so,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole point of the emergency aid doctrine is basically a reasonable belief that somebody inside is at threat of serious harm, right? Like they're seriously injured.
Yeah.
The
If you've
other
got that belief, then go in.
There's the other half of that. if it's a private place, and they lock the door, and they're not answering, and they're not sending calling for an ambulance or anything, and you don't have enough for exigent, fuck them.
Oh, poor Martin Pierce.
Bingo.
He fell and hit his head on the side of a table.
So,
Did he hit his head on the side of the table?
A single occupancy, house.
Yes, he did.
Have anyone to answer it, so.
Well, according to him, Kuze pushed him into the table, but
No, no, he didn't hit his head on the table.
I don't need to go into details. But I don't know. This is one of the things that could get explored with a case law. It's
every
has happened before.
Otto Delmar.
Apply for the BD. I was just
every situation is different, but it would probably be a decision you'd have to make on scene.
Ugh. By the way, that wasn't meta. I was just doing the Martin Pierce roll for yes or no thing.
What I was gonna say is, wouldn't that fall under the welfare check stuff, right? Because you have reports of somebody potentially hurt, and if they're not answering, they may be on the floor bleeding, which I guess goes back to the good faith stuff. So
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with good faith. That's kind of where qualified immunity comes into play. A lot of the times, so it has a lot to do with whether it was done bad faith or good faith. I will just, as a rule for most of you guys, just try to do things in good faith. If you're doing stuff in bad faith, it's usually manipulative and starting to err on the side of griefing, and that sucks. But if you want to get in trouble and you're trying to play that character, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? Roleplay wise, police wise. Okay. Well, last thing I'd like to say is regarding. I hate this phrase, so I'm not going to use the phrase. I'm going to say it, but I'm not going to use it. Of reading the room, but a lot of situations are you have to feel it out. You have to kind of give the same kind of. As a cop, you kind of want to give the same energy that they're giving back. And I guess a good example of some of this stuff is how you respond to certain store robberies is dependent kind of on their energy, right? If you get somebody who's doing a store robbery and they're doing it as a petty, low-end crime, and they're being a little more, silly, then you can have a more relaxed atmosphere with them, right? You could, for instance, if I rolled up on one with, with Golf Gang or something on Toretti, I would just get out of my car by myself before backup came and start interacting with them, because you kind of get the idea in general that the situation is not hyper aggressive or hyper serious, so you can have the RP, the interactions, wait for backup, stuff like that. Now, if there's a situation where they're screaming like, I'm gonna blow their head off, fuck you cops, then take your time, get some backup, and then respond to the situation accordingly. That's very important, because again, give and take, but you want to kind of feel it out on how they're taking the situation and how you might want to respond as a cop to that situation, right? Because there's tons of people with different types of role play that you kind of all have to try to work around, and that's a thing. Now, if they're being silly, goofy guys and they're robbing the vault, that's you're not gonna give them silly, goofy energy on that, right? You're gonna take that seriously. That's a big deal. And
I use
you're
quant
gonna-
and
you're
wise
gonna
guy
react- you're
shaders
gonna
for
act
reshade
and
enhance.
RP like that's a super serious thing. In regards to petty crimes, obviously it's different. So, and most things we have right now are petty. So keep that in mind. In general, feel it out. It's okay to meet their energy. In general, and also just try to.
Oh my goodness.
Came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh my god.
And also
Oh
try
my
to make sure you're having some fun. Okay, that's the big deal. And I think a lot of our problems and issues, they won't be solved overnight. It's gonna take a little time, but if we take these things in consideration, and you guys are, doing some of the things that we're asking, and the interactions between people are more fun and enjoyable, and less either robotic or unfun. I think everything kind of flows together into a better experience for everybody, and we'll have a lot of fun. So yeah, just be ready for you guys. I know some people who have experience from, where I've been previously, and like Miles and Cascadian and a few others of us, of the amount of calls and getting overwhelmed. It is okay. You're not gonna. Right now, it feels like you can get to every call pretty much. Sometimes probably it gets a little overwhelming and you don't. In the future, you're probably going to get to a point where you're just not going to be able to. And in that case, it's okay. It's quality over quantity, like I preached. So you want to make sure that the interactions you're having, the situation you're dealing with is good, is the quality's there. You're not rushing through it to go through the motions so that you can respond to something else, right? If you need to break off something to go to something more important, you can do that, of course. But just remember, every interaction with somebody is another person on the other end, and it's important to them because it might be their only interaction with a cop that day, right? So you guys have a big kind of responsibility in the server. You have a big role in the server, and you make a lot of people. You kind of help decide whether people are going to be here or not, right? So just keep that in mind, and please just have some fun, relax. Don't worry about things as much. I know there's a lot of like dooming in character and stuff. However, some of it, I will say, is out of most of your control. But I promise you, just let me carry that horrible burden, okay? I'll shoulder that for you guys, so you guys can do whatever. You can just keep having fun out there. Don't need to worry about it. That's what I'm here for. That's what Wise Guy's here for. And that's what Vare's here for. And Bob, he's still a thing. So, but yeah, just
Bob.
Just enjoy yourselves. Don't make yourself miserable. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I see it all the time. If you doom, or you're complaining all the time, or you're miserable, or you're looking for the negative, then you're always going to be negative. You're always going to be miserable. And it's just it's self-fulfilling, right? So, if there's ways we can help, we'll help. Obviously, I said we are going to make sure that, Jesus Christ, that people's passions and people's directions in PD in the whole server will be rewarded, and we'll keep doing that. And future's bright. Yes, Esperance.
I know we've spoken about this, but I know that there's still a slight discordance over that. So I figured I would just ask you, so you can tell everyone else as well. What is the modus operandi whenever a cop gets held hostage after being robbed?
Yes. That's the thing. I forgot about that one that we talked about last night, which will also be in the announcement.
Nice.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did forget about this. Thank you for asking that.
No worries.
The luxury we have here, and I know in the past that's always been a situation where, you know, they get shot, right? We have the luxury here of not having to do that, and hopefully we never have to make that a math formula rule going forward, right? So for now, unless it starts getting really bad and we have to put in this type of maybe temporary type of SOP, you always want to de-escalate. If a cop is
Do
being
not
held
shoot
hostage,
people that are taking
they're
cops
asking for
hostage
free passage,
immediately.
They are negotiating.
It just kind of
they
kills
are,
roleplay. IMO.
Actually going through with the negotiations. They're being reasonable, and they want a car, and they want to chase.
But we still won't trade
you
life for
do a
life.
chase.
We just won't shoot
They
you.
rob the cop, and they have.
We'll
the
let you
police
leave,
equipment,
and we'll pursue
probably
you,
gonna
but
be
we
a
won't
little
shoot
more
you right
aggressive,
away.
right? You're probably gonna have an extra car, or you're probably gonna have some parallels, and you're probably gonna ramp up, potentially pitting them, maybe a little sooner, right? Because they have police equipment. But also, remember, that's deadly force. Yes.
What happens if they do that again, and then they crash out, and then do it again, and then again?
You mean the blockchain?
Yeah.
Called out, dude.
We talked about that a bit last night. I believe, from what I understand, that was a, you know, that's a kind of them thing, and then I guess the bombs have done it before. I think the rule that we kind of talked about was if they are in the cells. If they're okay, so usually with the hostage thing and the blocks and stuff, is to get their people out of prison, out of custody, right?
Yeah.
If the person that they want out of custody is in the cells, or the car with that person in it is at the police station or pulling in, they don't get that person back. They gotta their negotiations should be switching to, you know, getting in a car and driving away and getting chased, right? Now, I did give the example of probably something that I would do if I was one of them. Right? I was at one point. Is that in that case, I would kidnap somebody, bring them to the front of the PD in the driveway. But when they pull in with the car, they see me there holding them hostage. That's kind of funny. That could be something you can work around. But if they're in the cells, negotiations should not.
Oh my
ever
God,
be,
meta.
Yeah, you could take them out of the cells, right? They're gonna have to get something else. You're gonna deny it. Also, in regards to that, I think that was one of the cases where I said, you know, maybe if this is a problem that is happening a lot rather than just a few times, we would specifically maybe say no time off if they hold somebody up to try to get somebody out or get an escaping custody charge, or if they hold up a cop, they get no time off. It's very frequent. But unless it's like a problem, we're going to treat it like everything else, right? We're not shooting them right away was a thing we had to do because we had to we had to deter that because people were gamifying it. It became a game. Like, you put somebody in custody and then you had to like set up strategically because you know they're going to do the try to break them out thing. And it was just like, it was a very lame, linear scenario. But right now, you you do negotiations. If the negotiations go well, you can chase them. You don't shoot them right away. We don't have to go to that thing right now. We can still do chases with them for now. If they are negotiating in bad faith, if they're refusing to any of the demands, if they're being difficult, then you might have to set up for some type of takedown. Of course. Whether that's, while they have the hostage, or if you can lie to them to get them in the car, away from the hostage and shoot them. But in general, just, de-escalate. It's a pursuit, and they're going to get screwed in the kidnapping or the whatever charges. So try to catch them. You're just going to be a little more, I guess, a little more serious in how you go after them. You're probably not going to give up on that chase ever. So yeah, let's try to make sure we're doing that. We have that luxury. You don't have to do that. I figure for most people, unless you're a masochist and you love to see people suffer, that, doing the whole, okay, give me the hostage, you can get in the car, and then as soon as they get in the car, 6 cops just unload on it immediately. It just kind of doesn't feel great. It's just icky. It's kind of like there's no give and take there, right?
Especially without warning. Like if you get shot like that without a warning, it just feels like, oh.
It's just because that becomes a gamified thing, and I want to stay away from that, right? Because then people know, all right, I'm gonna get in here, so now I got to try to figure out a strategy of not getting murdered right away or something, and then you have to limit the amount of cops that go to cop things so that they have a chance to get away. Let's not go into that part, but yeah, just negotiate. If it's in good faith, let them get a car, let them get in there, and depending on the circumstances will depend on how aggressive you are in the chase. So let's for most things we can keep that kind of perspective, right? We don't have to ever try to think about stop this right away. It should never be on your mind, unless it's something really shitty. But we have the luxury of not having to worry about that right now. And if it becomes a problem, we'll that's what Chief Toretti and Sheriff Woods are here for. Make those calls for you.
Where is he?
Everybody understand that stuff? Everybody okay with it? Anybody?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody kind of agree with that type of approach to things?
Does that apply to all government employees?
I think it applies to all hostages in general. I think we want to think of it like that, and just same type of idea. If they take cop hostage, the RP around it will be a lot more serious, and they may get 4 or 5 cars on them instead of 3. But the negotiations and stuff will usually have the same type of format, unless they're being just.
I asked because we were
unreasonable.
told this before. Then the blocks held a doctor hostage,
Or
and because
you
the
know that
doctor
they're
wasn't
gonna
a
kill 'em,
cop,
right? Like
and he
if
just
they're-
said
if they're
if a cop's
not
taking hostage, they open fire on the
giving any
block.
breathing room,
So I just
then-
wanted to make that clear.
you
That's
gotta do
all
something. You shoot 'em.
hostages. It's not just.
If they aim
Oh
guns
well,
out the
they're
window,
taking a doctor
if
hostage.
they get their boy back,
They're only not supposed
and
to
they have
shoot
a
if they
gun,
take a cop hostage.
and
you
they
know?
start aiming it out the window. Yeah, you're gonna shoot out the tires and probably try to get them in custody, right? Or shoot them, shoot the engine block. Yeah, blah blah blah. But there's plenty of different circumstances for how those things work out. So just let it roll,
Yeah.
depending on the situation. No math problem for anything. You good?
I think we're good.
Right. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. If you have any questions still that maybe you didn't want to ask here, I will be answering them today in my DMs. So
You're just a yes and role
DM
player,
me,
dude.
and I will respond. If you have any specific questions that you're worried about.
Just happens.
And I can't wait, is all I'll say.
Can't wait for what?
I can't wait.
For the time to run out?
Until when can't you wait?
What?
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Just
How long can't you wait?
I'm very excited.
just remember, we're all here trying to RP together, okay? Let's not punch down on people.
Hey, that's
Give and take. It's all about
Except-
give and take.
Except for people on BF 400s, because funny. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But really though, yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Sakes,
We'll
Maple.
be taking care of them soon.
How soon?
Oh my
I was
god.
trying
Takes a lot of skill.
I don't have my cuffs on
Right
now.
now.
Right now.
Sorry, Veggie.
Rain just shames
Don't
them
do
into driving cars over time.
Mosin,
I'm gonna be so
please.
real with
I
you
do it
guys.
to
the
you.
BF
No,
400 is
you
not
won't
as
be
much
able to
fun
log
as
on
the
to any
Contender
crew
is.
again.
No, Mosin,
Oh,
please.
it does
Tell us
this.
more about the contender. What happened?
Oh,
at the
God.
beginning
Club
of
is
the
worse,
Contender,
man.
Dayashi?
The club is worse. Contender's fun.
You guys want to talk about what happened recently when I got
No.
chased in a contender?
No.
The Kara
free to go,
Kara's
right?
cool too.
Free to
You guys are
go.
good. Thanks
Free to
for coming
go.
in.
Free to go, everyone.
Free to go.
Free to go.
Thanks for being here.
Can
Enjoy
someone
patrol.
give me a microphone dank test? How dank am I? So I have my microphone volume in the server all the way down to where it doesn't exist, and then I have my gain turned all the way down as well.
What do you?
Yeah.
I don't usually. I don't.
Onyx
so-
2.0 soon,
I have
guys.
I have
What do you use for a
a
mic?
I have
Oh
a
my God. I'm gonna
HyperX
start
Quadcast
Rasputin.
S, and then I have voice meter.
Take that jacket off. Take that jacket
What
off.
do you
Is
have
it a
in
Nana.
USB?
You take that. You take
Yeah.
You take that.
What do
Yeah.
you have your Windows?
We need to fly in
game-
Rad Stars
like in
for our
Windows
golf
itself,
gang wars.
What do you have it at?
Let me check.
It's probably not a
What?
gain thing. To be fair, it's probably not a gain thing. It's a compression thing.
Maybe. Yeah, it probably.
Fuck you,
There's your fucking
I
sedan, you
I
bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Is this a
fucking
Monarch
sedan.
or is this like the default GTA?
The fucking default.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I was saying
fuck you.
that we
Where's
need
your-
to fly you
there's
in
your
for our
fucking
golf
sedan.
gang, our golf wars.
What?
Golf wars? For golf
Back
gang, we
golf
need to fly
wars.
you in.
Oh, you need to fly me in?
Yeah, flying shooters.
You squashed all the wars.
Yeah, we
last
did
night.
squash the beefs last night. Nobody wanted to go to
There's
war
a
with
typo-
us.
There's a typo on this livery.
Can we sat in a circle saying kumbaya, man?
Yeah, we just called everyone. It was like, hey, what happened? Oh, it sounds like a misunderstanding. Okay, we won't shoot you then. Goodbye. We did that with 3 different gangs. Yeah,
Vanessa's a mercenary.
we got to take care of David Driver.
I think David Driver's the actual problem.
He is the actual
Vanessa is
wild card.
Vanessa's an actual reasonable person. But David Driver is a
Give him a
crazy
gun, he's just
person.
gonna shoot whoever he sees.
He just fucking shoots
Don't worry.
everyone.
Rad Star's golf gang character might debut one day.
Oh no. There he goes.
The fucking disappears.
Okay.
Oh,
I love you guys. Thank you. Don't forget. In character, I'm probably the enemy. Out of character, please message me if you need to. I will
Mantis.
respond.
Mantis.
Love
You
you,
know what,
Mantis.
Mantis? I got something to say before you leave.
Mantis, when are you gonna
Thanks,
stream?
We need a Ken stream, Mantis.
You'll see.
Yeah, when's the Ken stream, man?
Well,
I'll spawn you in a van, man. I'll get let's do
once,
a Ken
He can
stream.
spawn
once
his
I
own
don't
van.
have to do tons of these first. I want to get everything
No,
settled.
I gotta hop on. You know.
Kendrick, are you unsuspended yet?
When is Ken coming
How do you
back,
know
man?
that? That's fake news. Don't say that.
Yeah,
Can we
when are you gonna
retcon
deal with the
Gabby
fucking
Golf
naps
Cart's
in your
death?
general?
Legend, if you
Oh
have a chance,
God!
can I talk
Just
to you?
just wait about the announcement.
You know what the
Me?
Which ones?
Veggie, get away.
What? Why?
You're
Gotta move it
streaming.
back further, that's all it
Okay.
is.
Fine, I'm leaving.
Yeah, he told me to move it closer. I gotta move it further away, dog.
Not safe for stream, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, what do you have your microphones?
Oh, it's this guy. Stop
Oh my
bullying me,
God,
please. Stop
what the
bullying
hell?
Chloe, please.
I just give you parking tickets.
I can't.
Then I flee because I'm booking jokes on me because I have to.
I'm gonna make. I make the queens look
I'm-
like jokers.
I'm going.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going in character. I'm going in character. I've got a meeting in 1 minute. Let's go.
Ow.
Let's go.
Hey, has anyone seen Sophomore?
Yeah.
Lucian Emo?
Yeah.
Don't point that gun at
I
me.
think I do remember that.
I hate you
from,
so much.
Might
No,
have
it's
been,
too
might have been a
early.
no pixel thing. I can't
hate
remember.
you so much.
Why is
Me?
it called?
Yeah, you
Talk
do.
about filter
Why?
PW and then turn it off.
Just had to make a cream character and come hang out with us, huh? Just had to make a cream.
Alright, time for a quick
Man, just hop in. No, it's
God
Can I
it's-
come? Oh God.
Oh, okay. He can just sit in there.
This is the contender.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Club
club is
and
worse, to
Mantis.
be honest.
I don't
The
think
club
I
is
can.
worse.
No, you can.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
It's Puggle's fault.
Yeah.
In terms of
Hurry up, because people need to talk to me.
No.
Oh, this is so jarring.
So you can basically go down here.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
All right. Okay, by this point we're boxed.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Hold on.
Oh, you knocked the hood down, so he's
Oh,
gonna
of
ramp.
course. Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're a psychopath.
You know,
I think this is
found
one of your
something
getaways,
worse.
right?
Thanks for giving
I
us
found
the
some.
unlock.
I found something worse.
I'm gonna. You know what? If I see this, I'm gonna probably call for shooting out your tires. If I see this.
Oh no, we've had this.
We did this before, and Tommy Malarkey shot
I got
us.
something. I got something.
You should not be shot.
teleport. Teleport. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. I think it's there. Yeah, teleport up there. Up